Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Jason Minix, The Blitz.
A good Thursday afternoon. Welcome into the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, AM 1250, 94.5 FM. And for the first time in over a year, ESPN, we are out on location out at Slacker Sports and Arcade Bar, the Nacogdoches location, the Northstar location. We're at Northstar. I know where I'm at. I'm just excited to be on location somewhere because, man, it's been a long time since we've done this, and for a great reason as well. Slackers is celebrating 8 years. It's their 8th birthday party that they're having here at the Northstar location. Happy hour prices. Good early crowd here, and you want to get over here to Slackers Northstar location because we got a lot of stuff to give away today, including 2 pairs of tickets for WWE Raw, which is August 16th out at AT&T Center. Got a pair of John Mayer tickets, which is next April 20th, 4/20 of 2022 up in Austin. And we got a lot of the San Antonio Sports Star new guys that are here. Kind of an unveiling as Rob Thompson walks into the door, and for the first time, he's going to be here at Slackers at 4 o'clock and can start drinking right away, which I know is going to be a bonus for him. Carl Schoening is already here. You hear Carl and Rob on halftime every day except today from noon to 2, and we're going to get into it with Carl here in a minute. Dude starts a job on Monday and has already taken the weekend off as he is on his way to Mexico. I didn't know about that. Rudy J will be here shortly as well. So come hang out with us, come party with us, and party with Slackers as they celebrate 8 years. Vince Trevino, I see you on our Facebook Live. You're there, man. Come here. Have a drink with us. And it's nice to be on location to say our crack engineer on crack, Greg Shelton, is running things. He kind of liked being locked away and sequestered in quarantine, because he doesn't like people. So he's the one guy probably not happy because he actually has to go to work today. But Greg Shelton is here, Nick Trey, and come check out all our new San Antonio Sports Star stuff that we have. Everybody's wearing stuff except for Rob Thompson. Looks like he had to go see his parole officer earlier today with khakis and a plaid shirt. I mean, he had some sort of meeting going on earlier today. We'll talk about that with Rob. Did you go by Sammy's and get our new shirts? He did not. The one thing you were supposed to do before we go to California was go by Sammy's and get our new gear as we get ready to leave for Dallas Cowboys training camp, which next week we will be in Oxnard, California. We don't know where we're going to be staying next week. Going behind the curtains, because this is where we might need your help. I didn't know this was possible, but we had this wonderful beach house booked like we do every year. And last night about 11 p.m., I get an email from Airbnb that says our room has been canceled. The host has decided they're going to keep. So now we got to scramble to find a place to stay. And if you've looked at Airbnb, especially in Oxnard, California, there ain't a lot of options. I mean, for $170 a night, you can get a tent with an air mattress. I mean, literally, we've been scrambling all day today to trying to figure out where we're going to stay. And hell, if we got to sleep in the car, we'll sleep in the car as we get ready to head out to Oxnard next week. Again, we always want you to be a part of the show. A lot to get into today as the Cowboys have officially started practice today in Oxnard, California. Our good buddy Joe Reinagel will join us at 5:30 from Oxnard. Zeke talking today, and you talk about a man that is in shape, that is focused on a redemption season. We know last year his worst as a pro. 979 yards rushing. A lot of people have asked, do you think he can get 1,000 with 17 games? Absolutely. He can get 1,000 yards this year, but he's trimmed down, looks fit, down to 218 pounds. Hasn't weighed that since his freshman year in college. Ripped. He's hired a personal chef, a running backs coach to work on his quickness and ball control, trying to get rid of the fumbles because he's never been a fumbler. It looks like you've got a new dedicated Zeke who is also celebrating his birthday today. We'll talk about that. Jerry Jones talked yesterday. We got into some of it yesterday, but a lot that we didn't get to because the big news yesterday, Texas and OU wanting to go to the SEC. That was the report. The story broke by Brent Zorderman of the Houston Chronicle. Brent broke the story. BZ will join us at 6 o'clock today. He's still at SEC Media Days, and as he texted me, DAZE, because it is a daze when you're out there and you're breaking a story like that. That certainly still has a lot of legs, and that is still going to be a major story today about Texas and OU joining the SEC. I know Aggie fans, Rob Thompson, aren't happy about the idea of Big Brother getting back into the same conference, and the comments yesterday from Ross Bjork and from Jimbo Fisher did have that little brother feel like, no, we don't want you here. We want to be the only ones. But it is all about the money. And the SEC would love to get Texas and OU there, although I always thought they would end up out west. Texas and Oklahoma have more, if they're leaving the Big 12, more of a Pac-12 feel than an SEC feel. But it is really all about the money. And they are chasing the money, not only with the TV contracts, but with the NIL, that aspect of it. Brent Torneman will join us coming up at 6 o'clock. So you want to stick around and hear how he got this story. And my guess is it's Brent. He covers the Aggies. It was leaked to him by somebody within College Station. Now, I don't know how much Brent will actually give me on that, but 2 + 2 is 4 because the Aggies don't want to have it. They're trying to derail it before it can gain more steam. But that train has already left the building. Listening to Paul Feinbaum, this is further down the road than any of us realized, and they were able to keep it quiet this entire time, which is probably why somebody in College Station leaked it to Brent, because they don't want it. So for it to actually happen, you have to have only 4 no votes can derail you from the presidents. All right, so we know the Aggies are known for that thumbs down or thumbs up. They'll go thumbs down on this. But who are the other 3? I mean, Arkansas might be a friend of A&M in that situation, not wanting to have to deal with Texas, but are they going to be able to get 4 that could derail this from happening? And when you look at the piles of money that Texas and OU would bring, I think it's going to be hard-pressed for them to get those 4 no votes. I mean, it won't be a unanimous decision because we know how A&M will vote. Outside of that, I don't know if they're going to be able to get 3 other school presidents on board to keep this from happening. So obviously that is going to be a big story. But the other big story today, the other big story is the NFL's essentially mandate that you have to get vaccinated if you're a player in the National Football League. They already made it very difficult for unvaccinated players with the variety of protocols that they will have to go to versus the vaccinated players. But what dropped today takes that even steps further because teams are going to get penalized if you have to miss games. So essentially, if you're missing games because of COVID, if you have an outbreak on your team, and you think about last year when they were moving games around, playing on a Tuesday, playing on Wednesdays, delaying games, trying to make things up. You think about what the Titans had to go through at one point. All that moving around, none of that's going to happen. If you have an outbreak this year, you're going to get a loss. You're going to have to forfeit the game. The other side of that story, you don't play a game, that's going to cost you money. It is I saw one of the dudes on NFL Network earlier today called it an incentive to go get vaccinated. And sure, you might be able to couch it as an incentive to go get vaccinated because now you're talking about money. You're talking about, well, man, I need a game check. I mean, could you imagine if, a number of teams that are close to 85%, that threshold that we've kept hearing about from the NFL, and we know the Cowboys, according to what Jerry Jones said yesterday, they're at 77% with commitments from enough of their guys to get well over the 85% commitments that they are going to get vaccinated. Jerry said yesterday, you could count it on one hand, 5. So apparently there's 5 guys that are holdouts right now on committing at the very least to go get vaccinated. Zeke, by the way, today said he did get vaccinated, even though he grew up in a family that was anti any kind of vaccination, which is interesting because a lot of us might work at places where a vaccination is required. And it has become very political, obviously. But now you've got a lot of players very upset by the league mandate that if an organization, if an NFL team has a bunch of COVID outbreaks and they can't play a game, that not only do they take a L which could affect their playoff standings. But if you don't get your game checks, because you don't play a game, you don't get paid. Call it incentive, call it what you want. It's essentially the NFL forcing their guys to go get vaccinated. Clearly, there's a lot of backlash there. I mean, it is a very strong move with very strong language from the NFL. Then you get a guy like DeAndre Hopkins that tweeted out, "Never thought I would say this, but being put in a position to hurt my team because I don't want to partake in the vaccine is making me question my future in the NFL." That's an emotional tweet from D-Hop. Remember when that guy held out for a new contract with the Texans? Remember he held out for breakfast? He was back by lunch. I mean, we all getting the vaccine, you do what you want to do. And I've maintained that. I am not surprised that the NFL is being this strong with their new vaccination policies. Just the protocols for unvaccinated players coming in, they're making guys' lives hell basically for not getting the shot. Now you could cost your team a win and a game check if you're unvaccinated and you get COVID. We all know that, you can still catch COVID if you're vaccinated. But the science tells us if you do, it's going to be a very mild case and it won't spread around like it would if you're around a bunch of unvaccinated people. What I find interesting, like I've got a friend right now who isn't vaccinated, who is going to go get vaccinated because they've got a friend that's in the hospital right now. And it's become very real and very close to them. And it's as a vaccinated type, and I am, and I've got to be in order to go to training camp. Isn't that the crazy thing? Players have the option. For media, we have to, not only when we show up at Cowboys camp, have we already filled out forms, we've got to show proof and take COVID tests. I mean, that's a part of the deal. That's what we have to do to go do our work. I'm surprised that the NFL has waited to this point, basically when everybody is reporting to training camp, to drop these kind of bombshells on the players. I mean, weeks ago it was about the protocols, and now it's you could take a loss. And if you're wondering where the union is, the Players Association, the Players Association is seemingly in concert with the league office, as odd as that sounds, because nobody wants to lose games. Nobody wants to lose revenue. And if they have to get a bunch of cancellations, because what's the report right now? 14 teams have reached that 85%. So basically about half the league hasn't reached 85% vaccination. You're putting things in jeopardy. And I think the NFL is also following suit because there wasn't much of a backlash from the college kids when leagues like the SEC and the ACC have said, hey, man, if you can't play because you don't have the numbers because of COVID, you're going to get a loss. Not a lot of drawback there. And I think part of it is, having a kid in college, a lot of universities are requiring you to be vaccinated if you're going to come on campus and go to class. You can still do virtual school, but if you're coming to class, you have to be vaccinated. And there is that team idea that if you've got to do whatever it is to not hurt your team, and it's get the shot. You think about all the things that we've all read about, polio and smallpox and those kind of things. They're there for a reason. And I know, James, you sent me a tweet earlier. I don't have it up in front of me. Tell me what you sent earlier from Hop and Jalen Ramsey about they know somebody that got a vaccine and had a bad side effect. It's rare. And my first thought was, I understand where you're coming from. I know you're concerned, but have you seen the side effects and the long-term ramifications for those that have had COVID? If you want to make your argument and take a stand, I get that. But at the same time, now you could be hurting your team. And D-Hop questioning his future in the NFL, I kind of laugh because I remember his holdout lasted, till lunch that one time. We're out here at Slackers Sports and Arcade Bar, Northstar location, and out here till 7 o'clock as they're celebrating their 8th birthday party here at Slackers, and got a lot of the new crew from San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM with us out here at Slackers, and including Carl Schoening, who we're grabbing a microphone now. We haven't had a chance yet, Carl, to have you on the Blitz. partly because, when you're done at 2, you get the hell out of the office pretty quick, which I do appreciate. I'm that way. I mean, I'm in my car by 7:01 every day. I understand that, but we haven't had a chance to get you on and have you on the Blitz since you started on Monday.
Yeah, I shadowed the Blitz for a little bit there, but I'm definitely happy to be here on the Blitz, actually officially, and all that kind of stuff. It's fun, and I definitely am getting used to waking up in the 3 o'clock hour. It is a different feeling for somebody who usually is awake during that time without sleeping.
I know. Your show starts at 7, right?
That's correct.
You probably get there at 6.
5. Five to 6 range. I do work beforehand.
Oh, you don't just show up and still though. Why are you getting up at 3 a.m.?
There is nothing like a 20 minutes before 5 a.m. It is either the slowest 20 minutes or the quickest 20 minutes, and you just have to give yourself. I try to work out a little. I have a bike that I ride, and
so you're getting up at 3 a.m. and riding a bike.
I have coffee. No. I take an hour before I get to the bike, and eventually I'll get up at 3 a.m. I've been getting up in the 3 o'clock hour.
So you're just a slow-moving guy in the morning. So you figure 3 might get you there by 7.
I might eventually be a little bit faster moving, but definitely very slow in the morning. Oh yeah.
The only time I see 3 a.m. is if I'm still going. I can't imagine what you're doing right now. So I'm impressed because it is 4:16. You're still awake.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
This is middle of your nap time.
Yeah, I just finished up moving into Selma. I am very excited to be here with the San Antonio Sports Star, and obviously part of that is moving here. I lived in San Marcos most of my adult life, went to Texas State, and broadcasted in San Antonio and Austin and all over the place, and I found a home. I found a sports home, so I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, you certainly have. Now, while we talk about waking up at ungodly hours in the morning and you're working until 2 o'clock, I don't blame you for not sticking around to come hang out on the Blitz some. But I do got to ask you, as you start your new schedule and you just started a new job, and I heard today on R&R in the morning, you're already going on vacation? I mean, did you take the page right out of the Jason Minnick's playbook that you don't work on Fridays in the month of July?
That's exactly what I did. Yeah, I am going to Mexico. There's my girlfriend has a family wedding down there in Mexico, so it'll be the first time meeting her family in Mexico because we missed all of the potential weddings last summer.
Sure,
and I'm looking forward to it. I have never actually been. We're landing in Cancun, but we're driving an hour south, I think.
So you're going to Playa del Carmen?
It's near there,
okay.
And then we're going to Tulum right after the wedding. So it'll be a fun 4 days, and I was not sure about all of this when the originally happened. I don't think I even knew about the potential opportunity to work here. So I had to let Rob know when he was saying, you want to work here? I said, well, I want to keep the girlfriend happy too. So I went ahead and made sure it was okay with Rob that I still made the Mexico trip.
I mean, it works. And then so you're going to miss all next week of training camp coverage too then, right?
Yes. Oh, that was a bummer because I did want to check that out. And it was sort of a weird balance of which one should I do. But next year, I am all in on Oxnard.
Yeah, you're not going.
No.
I mean, I think you've already lost the ability to go to Oxnard. You did that pretty early.
Oh, well, maybe I'll talk to Jerry Jones about that. That's going to be a goal, is to see if Jerry will let me into Oxnard. And if that's good, then I'm sure if I have Jerry's blessing, then that's all I need, right?
Jerry blesses most media.
That's true.
I mean, let's be honest. He does. Now, I want to get your thoughts on Texas and OU going into the SEC.
With the college football playoff expanding and the way that it has gone with 4 teams already, the SEC is going to have 7 schools in that thing.
Yeah,
it's just a smart move to make. Get the best strength of schedule, because I don't necessarily think a 2-loss team is out of the conversation of making that expanded playoffs. Maybe a 3-loss team will make it, but if that happens, it's probably coming from the SEC. I don't imagine other conferences having their 2 or 3-loss teams going into the playoffs.
Well, and you look at it, and again, while the story did seemingly come out of left field yesterday, because we haven't heard any rumblings of that. The last story we heard about conference realignment was actually expansion in the Big 12 to try to get the 12. And who would those be? And I always thought if Texas were to leave the Big 12, it would be to go west or to create some super conference out west. But going to the SEC makes so much sense because of the money. I mean, the Big 12 doesn't have their own network, partly because of the Longhorn Network.
Yeah.
We're very honest about that. The Pac-12 network is kind of crap. The ACC network isn't bad. The SEC network is strong. The Big Ten network is okay, and they're going to continue to grow. And I look at if Texas A&M will probably vote no. Are there 3 other SEC schools that would vote no to keep Texas and Oklahoma from bringing them and their money bag with them?
I can't think of any, really. That doesn't seem likely, because the more powerful the SEC is, the more likely it is that you see that 7 or 8 teams in the expanded playoffs, or however it works. The majority of the SEC, the playoffs, will be the SEC. So the stronger the SEC is, the better for that conference, and you get one of the biggest football games of the year, the Red River Showdown in your conference. I think that's just additional fun.
You call it showdown and rivalry.
It can't be shootout. Remember, it can't be shootout.
It can't be shootout, but us old guys still call it shootout.
Okay.
Red River rivalry is fine. The showdown is just too watered down. If you say showdown, say shootout. I mean, we know it. We know what you mean. And of course, you get the rivalry again with Texas and Texas A&M. Now, I'm curious your thoughts, because when this story broke yesterday, and really Brent Zorneman, who will join us at 6:00 here on the Blitz, when the story broke yesterday, really about an hour and a half or so before the Blitz started, so not a lot of time to react and get more information out of what you had from the Houston Chronicle. As the Blitz was going on yesterday, more and more college writers were getting stuff out from their various sources within the SEC. But so many of my friends are texting, would Texas and Texas A&M be in the same division? What about Texas and OU? And I don't mind if I would want them to, because I want them to play every year. And maybe us fans are the only ones that want that. And A&M is clear they do not want that. They couldn't have sounded more little brotherish yesterday than their AD saying, we want to be the only ones in Texas in the SEC. The idea of, does it matter to you if they're in the same division, SEC West or East, or do they blow up the division because it's getting so big, and maybe they have quads and just have cross-league play?
Exactly. I think that they have to rebrand the divisions. East and West doesn't really make sense to get all of the rivalries in, because Alabama has to play LSU. Alabama has to play Auburn. Texas has to play Texas A&M. No matter what A&M says, that game has to happen.
Yes.
OU has to play Texas. So you have this situation where all of these teams do have to play each other. And what is it? Is it A&M and Arkansas also have that game in Jerry World?
Yep.
So you have to get that in. So there's so many moving parts to this that I don't see why they don't just do away with divisions or quads entirely and make it a big event. This is the SEC schedule.
Because you still have to have the SEC championship game, because there's a big pile of money that sits with that. And this is all about the money. Carl Schoening with us here on the Blitz as we're live out at Slacker Sports and Arcade Bar, our first on-site live location show in over a year since the COVID shutdown began. No better place to do it than here at Slackers as they celebrate 8 years. It's their 8th birthday party, so they're officially Troy Aikman jerseys. And, I think there's a picture of Troy in here somewhere, so that works, going with the great number 8. So you look at the idea of all this happening. Feinbaum says this is much further down the road. The current contract that the Big 12 has with Fox and with, look at Rudy giving me horns down. Hey, Rudy J, dude, you'll get your chance, man. You'll get your chance. I even brought you some gifts, man, but I don't know now. He's going horns down. Bring it on. And why do people, totally sidetracking, why do Texas fans get so upset by that? I think it's comical.
I don't know if they get – well, there are some who get upset over it. I think there
was enough people getting upset that were burnt orange that it's a penalty in a game, which is the most pathetic thing. That, as a Longhorn fan, that's embarrassing. You want to do horns down, it just tells me you're jealous. I mean, especially if you're the Aggie or the Sooner that actually has the horns down sticker on your truck. That just tells me how jealous you are of Texas.
Rod Babers said it best. It's rent-free. You're just living rent-free in their head. The fact that it's a flag now is absolutely ridiculous.
Absolutely. Alfred on Facebook Live says Carl can zoom in from Tulum. He might not be sober enough.
that is also true.
If you've never been to Mexico, don't listen to Rob Thompson. Just drink nothing but alcohol. I mean, brush your teeth with tequila. I mean, that is the only safe way to do it. If you're at a nice resort, they even have the liquor cabinets in your room. I mean, it's a stock fridge, plenty of alcohol. Don't drink the water. I know Rob was telling you that. He's just jealous. Don't just straight tequila all weekend. They have a drink, or at least Purple Haze. Have no idea what it is, but you won't see 3 a.m. I can promise you that.
As I am landing, the next move is to go to a pre-wedding party. I've been told this is going to be 3 straight days of fun and drinking. So I'll take that advice.
I think that's always a Mexico trip.
Sounds good.
3 days, 4 days, 5 days. You won't eat breakfast. Just go straight to lunch. Start with mimosas and go from there.
That sounds like
it's the way to do it. Carl's going to be out here with us at Slackers all evening. Rob Thompson is here. Rudy J is here.
Oh, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I wanted to say my favorite part of Slackers is they have the retired Spurs jerseys in order left to right above the bar. Silas all the way to Parker. That is one of the coolest things I've seen at a bar. I love that.
At every one of these Slackers locations, they have done that. In fact, we've been privileged enough to be here when we've unveiled the Duncan jersey and unveiled the Ginobili jersey for their retirements. And, I can't wait to see what we end up doing for Pop in here. And they're running out of wall space, too, which,
that's true.
Tells me we have too many retired jerseys with the Spurs organization. The standard should be a little higher, but that's another topic for another day. Come have a beer with Carl. Get him Mexico ready. His liver needs the training. We'll talk to Rob. We'll talk to Rudy. And we always want to talk to you on the Kia Bossa Bacon phone lines, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. You can also get us on Twitter. Tweet at me at Jason Minix. Pleasure is at I am at Pleasure. It is the San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Coming up, LeBron, the first billion-dollar active NBA player, and he wants a new point guard who might have just lost in the finals with the Phoenix Suns. We'll get into that as we continue on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Jason Minix here for my friends over at Edwin Watts Golf Shops to let you know it's time to tee it up at their grand opening after being closed for 5 months. They have weathered that storm, and they are now open and ready to serve you. You got to go check out their newly remodeled store. It's amazing. It features GC quads in every hitting bay. While you're there, check out new arrivals from all the top brands like Ping, TaylorMade, Titleist, Callaway. Edwin Watts is packed with the largest selection of shoes, bags, balls, apparel, and more. And they got them all in stock. And their highly knowledgeable staff is ready to help you improve your game. So swing by their newly remodeled store and get custom fit for free. You can do that today. Edwin Watts, they're at 410 in Nacogdoches. And don't forget that Edwin Watts is the home of the 90-day 100% satisfaction guarantee. And you can also shop them online at worldwidegolfshops.com. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, 410 in Nacogdoches, now open to serve you.
This Sports Center update is brought to you by Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 100% satisfaction guarantee.
I'm James Pledger. In Major League Baseball, the Texas Rangers got swept by the Detroit Tigers in 4 games, falling 7-5 in the finale. Up next, they open up a series with the division-leading Houston Astros down in Houston tomorrow night, a game you can catch right here. In the NFL, Dallas Cowboys wide receiver Amari Cooper and defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence are among 6 players placed on the physically unable to perform list to start training camp. Cooper underwent ankle surgery back in January, while Lawrence has long had back problems and had a cleanup procedure earlier this offseason. Finally, in college football news, both the Texas Longhorns and Oklahoma Sooners will send a letter to the Big 12 early next week to let them know they will not renew their media contracts when they expire in 2025, and that both will petition the SEC for membership early next week. This, according to Jason Whitley of WFAA in Dallas. I'm James Pledger for San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson for Arasti. I have a question for you. Are you stuck in pain? Are you living with something that will not let you go, like a soft tissue injuries, a sprain or a strain or a pull, frozen shoulders, plantar fasciitis, bad neck, tension headaches? All of that can be fixed remarkably quick by an Arasti provider. Now, when I bring up Arasti, people always ask me, what does that mean? I'm talking about a non-invasive procedure, not surgery. We're not talking about over-the-counter medications. We're not talking about opiates to dull the pain. I'm talking about a Arasti provider, a medical professional, getting in and fixing the problem. Soft tissue injuries can be fixed a whole lot quicker than just waiting for them to go away, and that is what's great about Arasti. You know what else is great about Arasti? You don't need a referral to go see them. You just make that call. So let me give you the number so you can go ahead and make that call and get yourself out of pain. The number is 1-800-404-6050. No referrals needed. And when you walk in that door, they do accept most insurances. Arasti is not about a long-term treatment program. We're talking about a short-term fix for what has always been a long-term problem. So don't sit around living in pain. Be like Becky Hammond. Be like Clayton Kershaw and Tony Parker, who have used Arasti to get themselves back physically into the game. If you need to get back in the game, do not let pain keep you from doing things that you love. Call an Arasti provider today, and I am sure you'll thank me later.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who believe only quitters end a game and a tie, the type of guys who choose the bar with the biggest TVs to overcompensate for theirs at home. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
We are honoring the pursuit of brews and barrel-aged bourbon every Friday at Bourbon and Brews. Get to Twin Peaks from 5 to 7 every Friday and experience a lingerie costume party paired with exceptional bourbons, tastings, and giveaways. Cheers.
Thomas J. Henry recently recovered $22 million in a wrongful death trucking case. If you were hurt in an accident, we can help. Visit tjhlaw.com/radio to start your claim today. That's tjhlaw.com/radio. San Antonio, Texas.
Golfers, it's time to tee it up at Edwin Watts Golf Shops for the biggest Callaway trade-in event of the year. Starting this Thursday through Sunday, bring in any of your old clubs and receive a 75% trade-in bonus towards new Apex irons and Epic woods. Both the Apex and Epic families are designed with artificial intelligence for faster ball speeds. Go to worldwidegolfshops.com or call the store nearest you to schedule your free custom fitting today. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee.
O'Reilly. When it's a warm day and your car's AC is blowing hot air, you need some relief. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts and talk to our professional parts people about AC Pro refrigerant recharge kits for your vehicle. Buy now and you'll get a $15 gift card after mail-in rebate. Keep cool this summer with AC Pro refrigerant at O'Reilly Auto Parts, in store or at O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
According to research, 82% of people remember radio ads. So 82% of you listening will remember that this is an ad for ZipRecruiter. 82% of you will note that if you're hiring, ZipRecruiter finds qualified people for your job. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And 82% of you will remember that you can try ZipRecruiter for free, but you have to go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Yes, free. Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
If you thought Diamonds Direct's values were impressive, wait till you see what we're doing next. It's a spectacular summer store-wide sale, July 21st through 25th, with an extra 20% savings on virtually all diamond and fashion designer jewelry, from rings and earrings to bands and bracelets and so much more. We're breaking our own rules to bring you extreme value for 5 hot summer days. Get ready. 20% extra savings on a multi-million-dollar selection of fine jewelry, July 21st through 25th. Diamonds Direct, official jeweler of the Dallas Cowboys, at the shops at La Cantera.
Slacker Sports and Arcade Bar is celebrating 8 years in San Antonio. We are going to party with them. Jason Minix here. Join me this afternoon for a live broadcast of the Blitz out at Slackers from 4 to 7. We got a ton of prizes to give away. We'll see you out at Slackers.
Marcus by Goldman Sachs offers personal loans with no fees, ever. Banks offer coffee. So what's more important, a Marcus by Goldman Sachs loan with no fees that could help consolidate debt, or bank coffee that tastes like bank coffee? You can money. Visit Marcus.com to learn more about saving, borrowing, and investing from Marcus by Goldman Sachs.
Investing involves risk and investments may lose value. Brokerage and investment advisory services by Goldman Sachs & Company, LLC. Member FINRA SIPC. Lending and deposits products provided by Goldman Sachs Bank USA. Member FDIC.
Jay Farner here, CEO of Rocket Mortgage and Rocket Companies. Last year, we saw historically low mortgage interest rates. What you may not know is that interest rates are already starting to increase, and it's likely that trend is only going to continue. Our team of experts is standing by to help you save before rates go up. Don't look back and wish that you had taken action. Call 833-8ROCKET or visit rocketmortgage.com.
Rocket. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states and MLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
Turn them on tomorrow morning. Rob Thompson, Rudy J. R&R in the morning, 7 to 10 a.m. on San Antonio Sports Star. ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. I'm Jason Minix. We are live on location out at Slacker Sports and Arcade Bar, the Northstar location, as they celebrate 8 years. You want to come support a great local bar. You think about everything they've been through to make it 8 years to deal with COVID and still be here on the other side. It's happy hour here. We've got a lot of great prizes to give away as well, including John Mayer tickets for 420 of next year. We've got WWE Raw tickets to give away. And we got a lot of people to talk to, and a lot of people to meet, including one Rudy J. Rudy J is here. You got to push the little button there. Yep, did you push there you go. Nope, not on that one. Test.
Check.
Hey, there you go.
What's up, baby?
You know, why is it every time you come on with me? This is twice now. There's technical issues.
What did we have technical issues?
Yeah, remember when James Pledge was crawling all over the studio trying to reach a damn cord?
Yeah, I would tell you what the common denominator is. Me.
Yeah.
I don't know what the heck I'm doing.
Well, I mean, look.
The guy you got out here with you, they ain't no help.
Have you met Greg Shelton?
Of course.
Yeah, that's about as much help as you're going to get. Try the next one.
He
ain't getting off his ass to come over and help him.
Greg is my guy.
Yeah, Greg is great, man. He is great.
He kicks me in the ass once a morning. Once a morning, he comes by, kicks me in the ass, and walks off.
That's it, man. So I got to ask you, man. Because we had you Monday, it was day one. It was fantastic. We're now Thursday.
Okay.
Now Carl Schoening was just telling us that dude gets up at 3 a.m.
Yeah, he said he gets up at 3 because he's he produces our show, so he's finding different topics for us. But I'm gonna let him know. I think he can do 4.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, unless it takes him an hour and a half to get moving.
Right.
But even then, I mean.
But I told him he's 30. I said, bro, at 30, I said I could roll in here on an hour's sleep, 2 hours sleep, and knock this out. He's coming in like he's 65.
Well,
I'm like, come on, Carl.
You know, I mean, see, you and I grew up in radio. We know how to do this.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's true. You know what? You're right.
I mean, we're seasoned vets at this.
You know what?
I mean, you think about when you cover Super Bowls, it's work hard, play hard. Cowboys training camp. Now, I have no idea what you're going to do next week.
I don't know what I'm going to be doing.
Because 7 to 10 is what, 5 to 8 California time?
Brutal.
That's, so that it really is going to be rolling in at 2 or 3, and let's see what you can really do on an hour's sleep. You're talking the talk. Can you walk the walk?
No, I'm 44. I don't know what I look like. I might have to go to bed early and
Oxnard. Here's the thing, man. I'm 48. Rob's 55. You're the young one in the group, so you can't be the first one ready to go night-night.
Hey, man, if we got to get up at 4,
I don't know what time you're going to have to get up.
We'll probably got to get up at 3:30.
All I know is I won't ever see you before 8 o'clock.
If we got to be up, I'm going to be loud and wake up the whole house. I don't know.
Here's the thing. We've lost our house.
I know.
Airbnb canceled our house today.
I think I'm bad luck, bro.
I didn't know that was possible.
You know what? The fact that they can do that to us on this short notice, I think Airbnb, we should probably let them know, like, that's not.
It's not cool because you know what? I read the cancellation policy. I can't cancel it.
Thank you.
But there's nothing in there that says if the host cancels it.
The fact that we're supposed to be there in 3 days, they can do that.
Although
is not right.
Better to find out now than on Sunday when we're trying to get into the place. Like, hey, you haven't sent my key. Oh yeah, the owner decided you can't have the house this week.
Yeah.
Like what? It's going to be crazy. But
I'm not missing anything. See, you two, like y'all are used to this beachfront. Y'all are used to all these great events. I have never been, so I have no expectations.
The scary thing is, the budgets are set. And the wonderful thing about Oxnard, California is, they got limited room availability, right?
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it's
that small of a town.
Well, I
or
mean,
just because it's popping.
It's just so far away from LA, and when the Cowboys are there, a lot of people travel from all over and book up all the rooms, right?
Okay.
So I don't. We were talking about this earlier. When we did the Super Bowl in Houston, we all had crap hotels. I mean, we literally had hookers at our hotel that were using rooms next down the road. You were saying that you wouldn't sleep.
Ours wasn't that great
underneath the sheets. You slept on top of it. Like the little dive bar that Rob and I found down there in Houston. Literally, we were sitting out there drinking, and there was a shootout in the parking lot. I mean, we had a rough hotel in Houston.
How did that happen?
I have a feeling some guy pulled out a gun and shot.
No, I mean, how did y'all end up with that bad of a hotel?
Budget. I mean, it was Super Bowl. I mean, so you're staying in a $59 hotel for $600 a night. I mean, that's what happens at Super Bowl week. Yeah. That's kind of what happens with Cowboys training camp. But it's going to be fun no matter what. We'll get it worked out. It's going to be, it will happen.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, what are you going to do at this point? We're all going. But here, you walk into Slackers, you're already drinking a beer. I got you a gift, and then you gave me the horns down earlier.
You got me a gift?
Well, maybe. I mean, you did the horns down. Now I'm not sure if I'm going to get it for you.
Okay, let's.
I mean, because it's a welcome party here. You're new to the station. We've never drank together. We've never smoked a cigar together. So I went by 1911 Cigars in Cibolo earlier today and got us some sticks so we could have some drinks and a good cigar today. And then you're going to come in with horns down.
Are you a horn?
So
are you? I didn't know that.
So I guess me and Rob are going to end up smoking.
You're smoking with an Aggie? Yeah. He'll do horns down, but even worse.
Oh yeah, no, he does. But I did. Well, dude, man, it's a. I mean,
good stuff.
It's one of those things. I mean, I'm not gonna.
Oh, hold on, Jay.
I mean.
Oh, you got the Placencias.
But you were telling me the other day. I don't remember. You were telling me you were anti-Longhorn the other day on the air.
I'm not anti-Longhorn.
Horns down is what?
I don't know.
Anti-Longhorn.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not anti-Longhorn. I just got tired of waiting on them to come back. So a true bandwagon fashion.
I mean, they've been back for about 10 years. I mean, we celebrate Joe Tessitore's call that Texas is back.
Yeah, exactly.
There's big parties. Hallmark even has cards at this point.
Not. They don't even have a first-round draft pick. TCU has more first-round draft picks than the Longhorns.
Yeah.
But no, I didn't know you pulled for the Horns, though.
I do.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So how did you and Rob get along during college football season? Because Rob is dying. Did you hear him this? Well, you're probably sleeping.
No, I didn't hear
you. But he was agitated this morning.
Well, of course, because hey, Pledge, can you pull up that Ross Bjork sound from yesterday? I don't have it
Rob said he agreed with
available.
100%.
Of course he did, and it's interesting. And look, here's the thing. I didn't go to UT, but I'm a Longhorn fan.
Yeah, I
right?
didn't go to either.
I don't hate A&M. But if you're picking against one or the other, I'm one of those that root for both. Unless they're playing each other, then I'm going to root for Texas. As a little brother, and I am a little brother, I've got an older brother, I understand where A&M is coming from, and Ross Bjork couldn't sound more little brother than he did yesterday at SEC Media Days.
We want to be the only SEC program in the state of Texas. There's a reason why Texas A&M left the Big 12. To be standalone, to have our own identity, and that's our feeling.
And again,
it makes him sound the reason I didn't like it is because it's like, dude, you're literally have an argument that only team better than you in the SEC right now is Alabama. Of course, you got Georgia and LSU, but right now y'all are on the move. There's no reason to sound insecure.
Yeah.
You sound insecure. Don't be that guy. Like I didn't really like that. Like Rob was like, "Oh, I agree with them." Screw them.
Yeah,
but
look,
they sounded insecure.
I get that from A&M fan. I expect to hear that from A&M fan,
right?
Not from an athletic director. I appreciated what Jimbo said. Be careful what you wish for. I mean, he knows what he's in. And look, Texas hasn't won the Big 12. We know that. I mean, it's just, the Longhorn Aggie arguments that I hear, I laugh at both of them, right? Because Texas hasn't won anything. And, you go back to 2010 and when they were in the championship game, lost. But quarterback stays healthy. Who knows? Maybe they win that. But it hasn't been good on the 40 acres, and we all know that. I know why A&M left. We all do. Texas is following the money.
Yes,
Texas
this
is following
clearly
the
a money grab.
But the little brother side of A&M is coming out because, right now they can easily recruit against Texas by saying, you want to be in the SEC? Look at all the draft picks we have. Look at all, the NIL money. Nick Saban saying a guy that hasn't even been named the starting quarterback already has $1 million because of our brand. You know what that is? That is him telling everybody, come to Alabama, you're going to make $1 million bucks. I mean, because the brand. Texas has that. Imagine what that would be in the SEC.
Rob said he's scared on the recruiting end. He admitted to me on air he's scared on the recruiting end should Texas come, because now it's like a few of those 4-star, 5-stars that we were able to land, now they get to stay home and they get to play for the premier name anyway. But I told Rob, I was like, but dude, y'all are better than them in between the lines. I would think you would be ecstatic about this, about an opportunity to step on their necks and get rid of the little brother label. Like, they're better in between the lines. They're better than Texas right now. Embrace it and kick their ass.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? Yeah, but no, we don't want you to come play at our playground.
Insecurities,
they don't want to give the invite. Like, we're giving you the invite to come hang out with us here at Slackers. Hang out with Rudy, Rob Thompson, Schoning's around here somewhere. Michael Jimenez from the Fantasy Gods and the Sunday Sports Grill. He's here as well. Michael will buy your drinks. Don't tell him I said that. Just say, hey, man, Minnick said. Michael got he's the guy that looks like he'd be doing your taxes. Just so you know. That ain't yours now.
That's not a cheap cigar.
No.
That's not a cheap cigar.
Man, I went over to the 1911 cigars, said, I need to get something good.
Shout out to 1911.
Because we're coming over here. We're going to drink tonight for the first time. And I know you always drink with a cigar. So I was going to make sure you were well taken care of. But you come in doing horns down. And
happy anniversary, brother.
Oh, thank you.
Happy anniversary, man. I saw y'all eating a little steak last night.
Absolutely. 26 years.
26 years. It's talk to me. I've been married for 5. How do I get to 26? Cliff Notes version. How do I get to 26?
Hold that thought. We'll answer that question after this timeout, because James Pledger is losing his mind that we have to go to a break. So
Pledge, just text me and say, Rudy, shut up.
Well, look, dude, I start year 26 in the doghouse.
Oh,
yeah.
I want to hear this.
Yeah, I'll explain that as we continue. I'll make it up, though, because I'm going to get into Tri-County Meat Market tomorrow, get some ribs for my grill, because it is grilling season. I'm going to be gone all next week, so I'm going to do it up big this weekend, which means a trip down to Tri-County Meat Market. Great place, locally owned, full service. They have carefully selected certified prime Angus beef cuts, Wagyu, and upper choice. Everything you need to up your grilling game: the beef, the chicken, the pork, the fajitas, the poppers they have. Man, they are so good. They have their own homegrown Wagyu. You talk about farm to fork Wagyu. And they've also teamed up with Dean and Peeler Premium Meats out of Floresville for more locally sourced meat. Don't forget, they've got that Pig 5 for $25 every day. You talk about stocking up for the weekend. Take advantage of Pig 5 for $25. And when you walk into Tri-County, you're going to save 10% if you're military or first responders. Tri-County Meat Market has 2 locations, on Ralph Air Road and on Huebner, online at tricountymeat.com.
Score $1,000 in summer cash. Enter the winning keyword, All-Star, ALLSTAR, All-Star at sasportstar.com. Good luck from San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Guys, stop what you're doing. Give me a few seconds of your time and let me give you a piece of advice that will change your love life forever. Have you noticed you've been losing a little pep in your step? Has your lady friend asked you, is everything okay? Do you find yourself having trouble rising for the occasion? Do you stress out before that special moment and wonder, is it going to work? Guys, I'm going to let you in on a big secret. You don't ever have to worry again. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula has you covered. Mojo is the 100% guaranteed male enhancement formula that guarantees lasting success, if you know what I mean. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula is safe, natural, and effective every single time, guaranteed. Mojo is available in a fast-acting spray and a quick-action capsule. Do yourself and her a favor and call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today. They'll get you set up for success. Call 210-494-2210. That number again is 210-494-2210. Mojo Male Enhancement, only available at Pure Line Nutrition.
When it comes to social distancing, if 6 feet is not enough with your spouse, it's probably time to change your status. Call the Divorce Dude with Polling Law PLLC. The Divorce Dude will help you get a fast, affordable, agreed divorce. But if you want to fight, the Divorce Dude will fight for you. DivorceDude.com gives you easy legal options and sticks with you every step of the way. Call George, the Divorce Dude, 210-201-0303. That's 210-201-0303 or DivorceDude.com.
When getting the job done right is job one, you need construction equipment that's built right. From compact track loaders to the world's #1 selling compact excavator, the Kubota construction lineup features durable Kubota engines, more comfort, and the versatility to do it all and do it right. Visit your local Kubota dealer today. Go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
From the Gulf of Mexico to the hill country of Texas, Ewald Kubota is your Kubota dealer.
Think about it. What's pain keeping you from doing this summer? Right? It's a long list of things you enjoy, but no more thanks to QC Kinetics and their new long-term solutions for pain relief. Hey, it's James Pledger with ESPN San Antonio. The natural biologic treatments at QC Kinetics address the root cause of pain in your knees, shoulders, hips, or back, helping deliver the relief you need so badly. Listen, don't spend one more day in pain. Call QC Kinetics today and get started on the road to recovery. The biggest regret for QC Kinetics patients is that they didn't start their treatments and feel better sooner. Call now to learn more about these regenerative alternatives that take place in the office the same day. No downtime. 210-571-0318. Refuse to spend one more day in pain. QC Kinetics makes it possible. Locations in Hollywood Park and Westover Hills. 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. Call QC Kinetics today.
Here's pitch. Double your power. Double your fun. Double your Rangers pleasure. The explosive action happens here on the official home plate of the Texas Rangers. ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
We've got the damn mic. San Antonio Sports Star. ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
And right after Keyshawn, you get R&R in the morning here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. I'm Jason Minix, live out at Slacker Sports and Arcade Bar, the Northstar location, as they celebrate 8 years. Come out and hang with us. We're on the air till 7, but we ain't leaving at 7 o'clock. It's our first live broadcast in over a year, I can tell you that. And you hear the laugh. That's Rudy J from R&R in the morning. He's out here. He ain't leaving. Well, you got to get up early, but he ain't leaving at 7 because we're going to drink together for the first time after 7 o'clock. But before the break, you mentioned that today is my wedding anniversary, 26 years. Although I do
congratulations, that's not easy.
It ain't. But I do start in the doghouse, right?
What'd you do?
Nothing.
Oh. So
we just went to Los Angeles last week. It's 26. We went to dinner last night because, I'm here today. But coming in, it was no gifts.
You didn't count that as a gift, did you?
What, Los Angeles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jason.
Yeah.
And I'm young in the game and I know better than that.
Well, look, see, when you're old in the game, because we've done the whole no gifts thing before.
Yeah.
And I've gotten stuff and not received, and so I thought, all right, cool. It's one thing if I say it, it's one thing if she says it. So if she says no gifts, I'm good. She went shopping in LA. She's good. Then I wake up this morning, there's a card and a present on my computer. Crap.
What did your heart drop?
Because now I'm in trouble. See, as a married guy, you get in trouble for not listening all the time. Right?
Oh, all the time.
So this time I listened, and I'm going to be in trouble.
Because y'all said no. So y'all had a handshake deal, no gifts.
Yeah. Which, again, if it was first time we've done that, sure. Yeah. But it wasn't the first time. I'm afraid to open it. I just left it sitting there. Now I'm smart enough to realize it's rewrapped in a Tiffany's box. So now that was a gift from me a long time ago, right? So I know she didn't go to Tiffany's for me. So whatever it is, it was something that didn't come in its own box. So she had to find a box to throw it in there. But still, I'm like, crap. So I'm in trouble, and I haven't had any time today to try to rectify it, but I know better to go to the convenience store and get a rose or something. You know what I mean? So,
don't get the Walmart roses. No, don't do it.
No, can't do that. So, I look at I'm going to start the year in trouble.
Yeah, man. But I mean, you had a handshake deal, and you just took it to LA. Had a great steak dinner. Like, I mean, you did your thing.
Absolutely. And we're going back to LA because the Foo Fighters got canceled and rescheduled, so we'll go back.
So y'all get to go.
Yeah,
to the concert
the tickets are still good. We just have to go back to LA.
Is it going to be at the Hollywood Bowl?
No, it's at the Forum.
The Forum?
Yeah. You remember?
The Great Western Forum?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Which is a great place to watch a concert.
When is it rescheduled?
August 26th. That's a Thursday. You're probably going to do the Blitz that day. You just don't know it yet.
I'm like, I'm just not finding this out. All right.
Yes, I'll be gone that Thursday and Friday.
Okay.
That's what it boils down to.
So you're going to LA 3 times in 2 months.
Yep. So
Must
yeah.
be good to be a member of the Southwest Frequent Flyer team.
Yeah, no, and I am. I got points, companion pass, A-list, all that.
Yeah,
man.
your wife flies free.
Yeah, so you'll see that some of those
I need
perks.
a Jason Minnick's ID.
No, nope.
I need a Jason Minnick's ID.
Rudy J out here at Slackers. You want to have a drink with him? Get out here and enjoy. Look at that. You got somebody handing you another beer right now. See, Rob's got a drink. Carl Schoning's, what are you drinking? A Carba? Yeah, look at that. Oh, a Crawford box.
Hey,
very
we don't
nice.
drink that. Hey,
yeah.
Get him.
Go
He's drinking that
Astros.
Crawford box.
Absolutely. Go Astros. Man. That's a smart man
Carl
over there.
Schoening.
See,
but that's Bill Schoning's son, so be easy on him.
Everybody's drinking but me, but that will change
We don't want
at
no
7
problem with
o'clock.
Bill.
Come out and see us out here at Slackers, the Northstar location, as we continue here on the Blitz. We'll talk some Cowboys with Joe Reinagel from Kens TV. He joins us at 5:30, but coming up next, we'll talk some Texans and NFL news with the McClain of the Houston Chronicle here on the Blitz on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. If your brakes are bad or you think they're going bad, do us all a favor and get them fixed. Jason Minnick's here for New Brakes, nubrakes.com. They're a mobile brake shop. That means they will come to you to fix your brakes. We're all busy. None of us have time to go spend hours waiting at a repair shop or want to deal with the hassle of dropping your car off and going back to get it the next day. That is the beauty of New Brakes. They come to you wherever you are, whether you're at home, whether you're at work. They come to you and provide convenient and affordable brake repairs, and they only fix brakes, so you're not going to get upsells like you would at a traditional repair shop. They only use premium brake parts, and they do back all repairs with a 24-month, 24,000-mile warranty, and most jobs are done in less than an hour. Save 10% when you mention my name or ESPN when you schedule that appointment at nubrakes.com. Your brakes are bad, you got to get them fixed. Get them fixed with New Brakes. They're great at what they do. Go read all those 5-star reviews and schedule your repair now at nubrakes.com. That's nubrakes.com.
AA Best Bail Bonds presents the 2021 Cowboys Training Camp on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM. Powered by Ewald Kubota and Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds.
Left side of the end zone. Touchdown. Another bounces left. Stiff arm. Walk the dog. Touchdown. Zeke Elliott.
360-degree coverage on air, online, and on site from Oxnard. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Welcome to Texas, where your backside will sizzle like bacon when you get in your car, unless you go to Mother's Window Tint, home of the Tint and Alarm Special, where you can also buy a new car stereo. Since 1984, Mother's Window Tint has tinted cars and trucks to keep them cooler and stop the sun from damaging their interiors. Texans like dark, privacy window tint. Come to Mother's and get some. Legal and guaranteed a lifetime. Remember to protect yourself and your family. Buy an auto alarm today from Mother's. Starter kill, remote start, GPS locator, 24-hour live monitoring. Save $100 on the tint and alarm package of your choice. Austin and San Antonio stores. MothersWindowTint.com. Remember, do it at Mother's and save.
Hey there, it's CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger with an inside track on a company that could save your family over $800 a year on a basic service everyone needs, H2O Wireless. If you're with Verizon, AT&T, or T-Mobile, H2O Wireless gives you the exact same coverage as one of those, but at half the price. That's right, H2O Wireless uses the same network, same towers. You can even keep your phone and number because switching is as easy as swapping a SIM card. Right now, get unlimited talk, text, and 15 gigs of data for just $36 a month. And if you want a new phone, H2O Wireless has huge savings on the latest iPhones and Androids. Here's what you need to do. Pick up your phone and dial pound 250 and say keyword Get H2O. When you do, you'll save 50% off your first month. Again, dial pound 250 and say keyword Get H2O, and your family could start saving over $800 a year today.
This is the home of the Cowboys, Rangers, and Aggie football. KCDC, San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Jason Minix, the Blitz.
Happy Thursday. Welcome into the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. I'm Jason Minix, live in location out at Slacker Sports and Arcade Bar. It is the Northstar location as they celebrate 8 years, and we're celebrating being back on the road for the first time in over a year. We get to do an on-site location at a great spot. Everybody here having drinks. Got Rob Thompson out here as well, Rudy J. The new morning show, R&R in the Morning. Carl Schoening is here. You hear him and Rob on halftime from noon to 2 as part of our new lineup. So come party with all of us here as we get ready to head off to NFL training camp, Cowboys camp. Our AA Best Bail Bonds Dallas Cowboys training camp starts on Monday when we get out to Oxnard, California. And I tell you what, is we start hearing more from the Cowboys, and we will later. Let's talk some Houston Texans right now. John McClain of the Houston Chronicle joins us. John, last couple of days before training camp kicks in for you as well.
I'm ready to roll. I took a vacation. I've been working back. Now I've been writing every day, and I'll keep writing every day till after the season. Used to be, I'd think, well, I'll be writing till the playoffs are over every day, and then it'll be every couple of days. But I don't have to worry about the playoffs this season. I guarantee you, Jason.
Yeah. So, well, especially not for the Houston Texans. And it's interesting because you talk about a team that had such expectations, and as we get closer and closer to the start of the season, you know, even the idea of what's going to happen with Deshaun Watson seems to have become a non-story. He's not going to show up, right?
If he doesn't show up, he's fined $50,000 a day. That cannot be forgiven. He has told them going back to the end of last season, he will not be there for the off-season program. He wasn't. He would not be there for training camp or preseason or regular season, and he's willing to absorb those fines in his effort to get traded. Well, the problem trading him, he still has 22 civil suits against him, and the NFL's investigation and the police investigation. So I can't imagine somebody's going to trade for him. But if he were to show up, and there's some national media people coming in here to see, even if he showed up to avoid the $50,000 a day fine, he wouldn't be on the field. He's never going to play for the Texans again. Now, two things that I think could happen, Jason. They could decide to give him excused absences, place him on the reserve, did not report list, which means he would not show up and he would not be fined $50,000 a day. Or Roger Goodell could place him at any time on the commissioner's exempt list, which means he'd get paid not to play. But regular season, that's when the game checks start. They get paid a pittance for preseason. So I don't think he'll be on the field practice, and I know he'll never play in another game here.
John McClain of the Houston Chronicle with us here on the Blitz on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. As you get ready to start this Texans training camp, and you've for well over 30 years, so many training camps that you have covered. How different is this one when you think about such low expectations and so many new players? Is there excitement for you from the reporter standpoint just because so many different stories that you get to uncover? Or is it, man, this is going to be a long, long season. Here we go.
Well, it's been 45 years, Jason, but who's counting? And it's so funny because the Texans have had one bad season. This time last year, they were coming off division title, playoff victory, and a second-round playoff loss. And so now, because they have 50 new players, including 42 veterans, all new quarterbacks for the first time since 2002, their expansion season, it's a fascinating situation, Jason, because I've never seen it. So I'm really interested to see how it plays out. Not so much the winning and losing, because I expect them to be like 3-14 or 4-12 or maybe 2-15, but to see who makes the team, who wins starting jobs, because I've never covered a team that has undergone such turnover in an off season. And so you have a new coach, David Culley, new GM, and Nick Caserio, new starting quarterback, and Tyrod Taylor. And I can tell you this, everybody here wants the Watson story to be over. You know, when they finally trade him, it'll be great for him, great for them to just move on, get away from the distraction, and start trying to.
We lost John McClain there for a moment. I think everybody's tired of hearing Deshaun Watson, including the phones. There you are. I mean, you dropped off, and I think, everybody is tired of Deshaun Watson talk, and get some movement and get that Band-Aid ripped off, if you will. John McClain of the Houston Chronicle here on the Blitz. What did you make of the NFL's memo today that unvaccinated players, if there's an outbreak within a team, they are not going to move games around like they did last year? A team could ultimately forfeit games. That would be a loss and a loss of game checks.
I think it's great. They're doing everything they can with the union's approval to get these morons to get their vaccinations. Because if they don't, they can hurt themselves, their team, their fan, their organization. How would you like to be responsible for that? And so they're trying to do everything they can to get as many possible players to get the vaccinations as they should. DeAndre Hopkins came out today in a tweet that he deleted saying he didn't want a vaccination. He might retire. He wouldn't want to be responsible for his team forfeiting a game. Well, of course, he's not going to retire with the $30 million he makes or whatever it is. But I just do not understand why players will not get vaccinated. And I tell you, if you cause your team to lose a game or two and they end up missing the playoffs or home field advantage for a game or two, you are going to create a huge controversy that is going to cost you your career.
Well, and not only that, but, you could cost some players some money if they end up losing a game check. And I'm with you. As a vaccinated type, I don't understand some that just refuse to get it, especially in a setting like that, especially with the protocols that unvaccinated players have to go through. The NFL has done everything but mandate it. They've made it as uncomfortable as possible for the unvaccinated players. And now you could cost guys their money and certainly cost them a win. So you would think that would encourage more shots. And then I see the tweet from D-Hop that you just referenced, and I thought, dude, I remember when he held out for breakfast, he was back for lunch on his holdout. He deleted the tweet. At what point do you think he gets the shot? And I think a player like Zeke Elliott, who said today his family is not just with this, but kind of against all kind of vaccines, he went and got the shot because he understands the importance of not being a reason for a loss or a distraction to his team. So he got the shot for the betterment of the team.
You're either ignorant or stubborn or both if you don't do it, knowing the consequences and what they can be and how you could hurt your teammates. And players don't want to hurt their teammates. And I can't wait to see if Cole Beasley, the Buffalo receiver who's the poster boy for the anti-vax crowd, if he breaks down and does it, because, man, he would look hypocritical if he did. But the Bills are trying to get to the Super Bowl. You don't want a player or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 to keep you from that goal.
Well, and while they say they can't cut a player who refused to get a vaccination, I'm pretty sure for most of the guys, they'll find a football reason to do it if they have to.
Oh, absolutely, Jason. And think about this. When you're going to claim a player, you're going to sign a player, you're going to want to know, is he vaccinated? He's been cut by another team. It's going to be harder for you to get a job.
John McClain of the Houston Chronicle with us here on San Antonio Sports Star. I want to switch gears and talk a little college football with you. Your colleague there at the Houston Chronicle, Brent Zorneman, broke the story yesterday that the Texas Longhorns and Oklahoma Sooners were exploring the idea of leaving the Big 12 and joining the SEC. Great exclusive for the Houston Chronicle, and BZ getting that exclusive. What were your thoughts when you first read it in the 24 hours since? Have you digested all the news?
Well, it doesn't surprise me because I've been thinking about a super conference for years, always knowing Baylor would get left out. And I've done 3 talk shows in the SEC today, and they've all asked me about it. Everybody's talking about it. Did the NFL Network, and they asked me about it. And I told the SEC station, no matter what A&M says, A&M does not want Texas in the SEC because A&M left. One of the reasons is because of the Longhorn and the Longhorn Network. And I told them, wait till you guys in the SEC get a hold of UT trying to take over everything. As somebody from Baylor, I've known since I was a child that UT drives the bus and everybody else just grab a seat and hope that UT takes you in the right direction. And the thing is, if UT goes in that Western Division, as mediocre as they've been in the Big 12, they may be lucky to finish 6-6 in the SEC. And the only good thing I see about it, other than most schools would make more money, is A&M and Texas would have to play again. And I can't wait to see that because it's always bothered me that they stopped playing in football but play in other sports. And I want to see that rivalry regenerated.
Me too. However they're going to get there, I'm all for it. John McClain of the Houston Chronicle as he joins us every Thursday. Next week, John, when we talk to you, I'll actually be in Oxnard at Cowboys camp. Can't wait to get out there and have football season here. Even if the Texans are going to have a rough season, at least we are at football season and we have finally made it.
Yeah, you know you want to get to Oxnard because of that cool weather when you get night and early in the morning.
Yeah, high about 72, 73, about 61 in the morning. Yeah, it's and at night. And you're right, a lot different than when we cover Houston Texans training camp when it's 103 and 800% humidity out there. John, always appreciate the time, my friend.
Jason, thank you very much. I hope you have a great weekend.
Follow John McClain on Twitter at McClain_on_NFL. And as we talk about next week, we're going to be out in Oxnard for our AA Best Bail Bonds Dallas Cowboys training camp coverage. They got underway essentially today with the first on-field stuff, but no pads, no hitting. A lot of people say, why aren't you out there for day one? Because quite honestly, there's not a lot of reason to be out there for day one because there's no contact, there's no hitting. It's stretching drills. It's good for TV types like Joe Reinagel, who will join us at 5:30 from Oxnard. But in reality, you want to learn something, you go out there when they're actually having good physical practices, and we'll get that next week while we're in Oxnard, California. Now, Zeke did talk today, and he comes in at 218 pounds. He says he has not been that lean since his freshman year of high school. And when you see him, dude looks ripped. He has dedicated the offseason to getting better, hired a personal chef. He has hired a personal running back coach because he needs to work on his quickness. He said that. He wanted to work on ball control because, well, he's not a fumbler, but he was a fumbler last year. He's never been that. What was the cause of that? He worked on that this offseason because he wants to do what he can to help this team get to the Super Bowl. He looks incredible. If he can stay healthy, that offensive line can stay healthy. It is certainly plausible, and it's still July, so I think we have to talk Cowboys and Super Bowl. It's in the manual. But you look at a guy like Zeke, and we've all, as he celebrates a birthday today, it is his birthday, and year 6, his 6th training camp, you've got a guy who looks rededicated. He was not happy with last year. This entire team not happy with last year. And yesterday I found it interesting that Jerry Jones, in his talking to the media, and he was going for about an hour and a half, told some stories. That Jimmy Johnson story that we talked about some yesterday was incredible because he admitted really for the first time that they messed things up with Jimmy. And of all people, it was Barry Switzer who took the job that kind of wanted to know him, dude, how did you mess this up? And as Jerry gets older, maybe a little bit more reflective, if you will, because, and I've said this for years, Jerry Jones wants to win another Super Bowl before he dies. And he got emotional when talking about that yesterday in Oxnard.
I'd do anything known to man to get in a Super Bowl. That's a fact. And there's nothing in my mind that can have a higher priority than that.
You know, it's interesting because when I heard that late yesterday, James Pledger, you sent me that audio after the show yesterday, and I heard it, and my first thought was, yeah, you'll do everything but give up total control, right? That was the first thing I thought of when he said that. I mean, he would spend every nickel it would take. I mean, they've got an incredible facility. They've got everything, but he will not hire a true general manager. That was my first thought. That's probably your first thought when you heard that, too, when you're driving around in what looks to be one hell of a rainstorm going on outside as somebody just walked in the Slackers and opened the door. Like, I didn't know it was supposed to rain today. I thought there was no rain in the forecast. I digress. Welcome to Seattle. When you think about the idea of Jerry willing to do anything, in a lot of ways, I still think we're very critical of Jerry in an unfair way. Follow me here. You know, my first thought when I heard that was, yeah, you'll do anything but hire a GM, give up control, let somebody really come in and run this. But in a lot of ways, while he does make final decisions, I think about Will McClay's power in that organization and quite frankly, Stephen Jones's power in that organization. And you could argue whether Stephen's a football guy or not, but he is. The only thing they haven't done is go hire somebody that they could get mad at and fire, except for maybe Will McClay, who has interviewed for other GM jobs, but they don't have it as good in other places as he's got it in Dallas. That's why he's never left, even though he doesn't have the title of GM. So Pledge, as you hear that, what do you think Jerry means when he says he's willing to do anything?
I mean, I think it's just that. He's willing to literally do anything. We've seen over the past few years, he has less of a role in terms of day-to-day operations. It feels like he's kind of handed over personnel to Will McClay and Stephen Jones and kind of let them seize control of that part of the organization. And they just, I'm guessing when there's a debate between Stephen and Will, Jerry's the tiebreaker.
Sure.
In a sense.
And it kind of go back to the drafting of Zach Martin instead of Johnny Manziel and all the stories that we heard there. And I think that was probably the first time I really thought, all right, maybe Jerry does listen. Maybe there are guys in the room that can talk Jerry off the ledge. out of making stupid decisions, although they, as an organization, they've made plenty of them since then as well. But I think we could say that about most decisions that don't work out. That was dumb. But I look at what Jerry's doing, and shame on us, shame on me for that being the first thought that comes to my mind, because, yeah, Jerry, yeah, you'll do everything but. And, there was not a but there, but in reality, while he is the final decision maker, he is the tiebreaker, he can be convinced. You look at a lot of the drafts, I mean, CeeDee Lamb is one that you kind of question. But this year, they didn't do that. Then I say question it, Pledge, as you shake your head there. I mean, of a draft pick that kind of had Jerry written all over it. He couldn't pass up the shiny object, but nobody in their right mind would have passed up CeeDee Lamb, who was sitting there where he was sitting there. So I can't blame him for that, but that was a Jerry move. The comments after about, his old teammate with the same name and all that kind of stuff. But this year, could have gotten another shiny toy. I mean, remember, we were debating, what do you do if Kyle Pitts is still there? Could Jerry control himself? But he drafts a Micah Parsons, who looks like he's going to be a stud.
Sure. And going back to CeeDee Lamb, I understand that pick because there literally wasn't a better pick on the board. You could have taken maybe Kayvon Chasen to address a type of need with defensive end, but you have Randy Gregory coming back halfway through the year, and he wasn't as highly rated as CeeDee Lamb. So at that point, you take the home run over a position of semi-need.
Well, and again, I mean, helping that defensive front, you look at Chason. I mean, it's a prime definition of, do you go BPA, best player available, or do you go best player that fits a need? And they went best player available, and that was CeeDee Lamb. And quite honestly, you can't argue with it because that guy is going to be a stud, and we certainly know it. Now, some other Dallas Cowboys news, and we'll talk more about this with Joe Reinagel from Kens 5. He'll join us coming up in about 10 minutes. Joe is already out in Oxnard, California. The Cowboys are starting with a couple of players on the PUP list, on the PUP list, physically unable to perform with some surgeries that we did not know about until the first day that they have to let us know. DeMarcus Lawrence had back surgery. That's his third back surgery. They said it was a cleanup deal. Shouldn't be an issue, but he's starting training camp on the PUP list. That's a little concerning. Greg Zuerlein, your kicker. He had back surgery. Again, they say nothing to be overly concerned about. And since they haven't brought in a bunch of kickers for training camp, I guess not really. And we knew Amari Cooper had ankle surgery. He'll be back sooner rather than later, but he's unable to go at the first part of training camp. And again, you look at Jerry's vaccination levels of what Jerry told us yesterday is they are at 77% right now vaccination rate. And they've got commitments to be fully vaccinated by the time the season starts from all but apparently 5 guys. And I'm hoping those 5 guys aren't guys hoping to make the team because they'll find a football reason for them not to if they decide not to get vaccinated, especially with the memo that came out today from the NFL that is basically forcing players to get vaccinated. They've already, in a lot of ways, done that by putting in very strict protocols and restrictions on unvaccinated players. But what I'm guessing happened, is the league put out those protocols several weeks ago, and what they didn't see was a whole bunch of players run down and get a shot. So they have that 85% rule that, puts teams in better overall protocol positions. But what they announced today was, look, if you guys have an outbreak and you guys have to cancel a game, you're going to forfeit that game. That will go down as a loss in the column, which could affect your playoff standings. And, oh, by the way, if you don't play a game, guess what? You don't get paid because they get paid per game. So now unvaccinated players could not only hurt the team in the standings, they could hurt their teammates from a financial standpoint because they would lose a game check if they're unable to play. And I do think that was a direct reaction to not a lot of players going down and getting vaccinated just to have more freedom around their building, inside the facility, inside the meeting rooms when they're traveling, because you go read the restrictions on the unvaccinated types and tell me, would you want to do that? I mean, it is so restrictive. you would think that would have a lot of people that were on the fence or against it to say, screw it, I don't want to live like that, and I certainly don't want to give up my NFL million, so give me the shot. Now you're telling teams not only can you lose and you hurt the team, but you can lose money. DeAndre Hopkins tweeted, never thought I would say this, but being put in a position to hurt my team because I don't want to partake in a vaccine is making me question my future in the NFL. Well, we know he's not going to retire. We know he's not going to do anything. He's already deleted the tweet. No big deal. D-Hop, I understand you're frustrated. And if you're against it, part of me understands. I disagree with you. But when you start putting team aspects into it, when you start talking about your livelihood, if your job says you have to do this in order to go to work, most of us are going to have to do whatever it takes to go to work. That's just the bottom line. The NFL is making it very difficult for guys to stay unvaccinated, and they understand the importance of the big money machine. And when the NFL players say, oh, the NFL is just being greedy, dude, look at your contract. You want to continue to make that kind of money. That's what it's really ultimately is all about. It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. We're live out here at Slacker Sports and Arcade Bar, the Northstar location, as they celebrate 8 years. Got a lot of great stuff to give away, including a couple of pairs of tickets to go to WWE Raw coming up August 16th out at the AT&T Center. We also have John Mayer tickets to give away. He's got a show next year. Plenty of time to plan. That is on 4/20 of 2022 at the Moody Center in Austin. If you don't win them, you can get them at Ticketmaster.com. Joe Reinagel from Kens 5. He's in Oxnard. He will join us next here on the Blitz. And when you come out here and you see me in my shirt, Carl Schoening and his new San Antonio Sports Star shirts that we've got with our new logo on it, they're from Sammy's Embroidery Club. You need your logo on gear, you get into Sammy's Embroidery Club. It's right down the road from where we are here at Slackers on San Pedro. If you're a business owner, a manager, a club leader, you're in charge of getting gear done, get into Sammy's Embroidery Club. You need shirts, jackets, caps, uniforms. Sam has over 700 uniform lines from medical, restaurant, service industry, construction. You just need that professional look around the office, camo gear, safety gear. Sammy has it all. And it's not just embroidery. If you need silkscreen shirts done for any occasion, Sammy's Embroidery and Printing. Nobody has better prices. Sammy has all the big name brands and is the only company in Texas with one-day turnaround. No order too big, certainly no order too small. Check the website, samsembroidery.com, or go visit that massive showroom on San Pedro. It's 1 mile inside Loop 410. Next to Big Lots across from McDonald's. All items come with a warranty, and you work with Sammy on your project. He's the owner, and he's by his phone right now. Call him 210-824-3900. 824-3900 for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
This Sports Center update is brought to you by Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 100% satisfaction guarantee.
I'm James Pledger. In Major League Baseball, the Texas Rangers got swept by the Detroit Tigers in 4 games, falling 7-5 in the finale. Up next, they open up a series with the division-leading Houston Astros down in Houston tomorrow night, a game you can catch right here. In the NFL, Dallas Cowboys wide receiver Amari Cooper and defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence are among 6 players placed on the physically unable to perform list to start training camp. Cooper underwent ankle surgery back in January, while Lawrence has long had back problems and had a cleanup procedure earlier this offseason. Finally, in college football news, both the Texas Longhorns and Oklahoma Sooners will send a letter to the Big 12 early next week to let them know they will not renew their media contracts when they expire in 2025, and that both will petition the SEC for membership early next week. This, according to Jason Whitley of WFAA in Dallas. I'm James Pledger for San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Golfers, it's time to tee it up at the reopening of Edwin Watts. We've weathered the storm, and now we're open. Come visit our newly remodeled store featuring GC quads in every hitting bay. Check out the new arrivals from all the top brands like Ping, TaylorMade, Titleist, and Callaway. Edwin Watts has the largest selection of shoes, bags, balls, apparel, and more in stock. Swing by our newly remodeled store and get custom fit for free today. Edwin Watts is the home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee, and shop us online at worldwidegolfshops.com.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who believe only quitters end a game and a tie, the type of guys who choose the bar with the biggest TVs to overcompensate for theirs at home. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Hey, happy hour's back at Twin Peaks. Get up here Monday through Friday from 2 to 7 and score sweet deals like $1 off all wine, liquor, cheap shots, and freezing cold 29-degree draft brews. Are you feeling snacky? We also have select apps available for $2, $4, and $6. Cheers!
Heard you're buying a car. I brought my calculator.
Dad, I already used Capital One Auto Navigator. I found my car online and got pre-qualified instantly, instead of all that.
You know those things impact your credit score.
Didn't impact my credit score, Dad. Now I'm going to the dealership for a test drive and to make the purchase.
Sounds too easy.
No, it's just easy. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms and conditions apply. Find out more at CapitalOne.com/Auto Navigator.
Back to school season is on. Get best-in-class savings at JCPenney. Gear up with 40% off backpacks from brands that always have their back. And shop smart on doorbusters across the store while they last all weekend long. That means stocking up on essentials like $5.99 select kids tees and $14.99 select kids shorts. Don't forget to use your coupon to save an extra 25% and check everything off your list in one easy trip. Weekdays are back in style. JCPenney. Offers and coupon valid through 8/4. Exclusions apply. See store or jcp.com for details.
Oh, according to research, 82% of people remember radio ads. That means that 82% of you listening right now will remember that this is an ad for ZipRecruiter. If you're hiring, 82% of you will recall that ZipRecruiter makes hiring faster and easier. And 82% of you will note that you can try ZipRecruiter for free today. But you have to go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio, like where this ad plays. 82% of you will keep in mind that ZipRecruiter's technology finds qualified people for your job and actively invites them to apply.
Scott, is that you? Who are you talking to?
82% of you will also know that I live with my mom. But the most important thing to note is that ZipRecruiter works. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Will you be part of the 82% who remember where you can try ZipRecruiter for free? It's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Again, that exclusive link is ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Yes, radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Second it takes the Blitz with Jason Minix and Sports Insiders. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Back to the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. I'm Jason Minix. We're live out at Slacker Sports and Arcade Bar, the Northstar location. As they celebrate 8 years, we celebrate our first road trip, our first on-location show in well over a year. Glad to be back out doing this. Next week, we're going to be in Oxnard, California for our AA Best Bail Bonds Dallas Cowboys training camp coverage. Joe Reinagel beat us out there. Joe Reinagel from Kens 5 joining us live now from Oxnard. It's pouring down rain here in San Antonio. You want to start with a Bill Taylor weather report?
Absolutely. I can tell you that it is blue skies, a little bit of cloud cover, about 75 degrees, though. It's absolutely beautiful out here, as you know, Jason.
I certainly do, and we'll be out there Sunday. And, you know, I don't understand why Taylor gets so much time for weather over there at Kens, because that's all you really ever have to say. But let's talk about the Dallas Cowboys. And really, I want to start with a little bit of what happened yesterday. Jerry Jones, in his State of the Cowboys address, told a great story about Jimmy Johnson and Barry Switzer, and maybe for the first time kind of admitted he screwed things up and got emotional when talking about he would be willing to do anything to win himself another Super Bowl. Did anything surprise you about the press conference yesterday with Jerry?
Well, you know, knowing Jerry Jones and how he to win, right? I mean, the guys obviously Eagle, all of them do. They want to win. But what really surprised me was that the question that you just mentioned, the question was, you've always said you've made a deal with the devil. And he said, what happened last year, the devil was his payback had effect. And that's when Jerry came back and said, you know what, I would do anything known to man to win a Super Bowl. And so that's how it all went. You mentioned the Jimmy Johnson thing he got, and I think it's the first time I've ever heard him admit that he kind of screwed up that relationship. I think everybody's known that for a long time, but publicly admit that, I think that was a first. And then he got emotional a couple of more times when he's just talking about being out here at Oxnard. He praised the media, praised the fans. I mean, he was really genuinely excited about being back out here. And because at one point in time, he even admitted, he said, I'm getting up there. He says, I don't know how many more of these I've got. So they're all precious to me. So it was a very entertaining state of the Cowboys press. But Jason, they always are.
Jerry in a microphone, I always feel bad for whoever the coach is. And yesterday it was Mike McCarthy, and whatever sunglasses he was wearing. So if he dozed off, nobody would really notice. And Steven, I don't know why those guys go up there. It's Jerry's show.
It's Jerry's show. And I think McCarthy actually talked more than Stephen Jones. Stephen Jones maybe had a line. That was about it. There wasn't much there at all. But it should be the Jerry show. He should just go up there and take care of the whole thing, and that's it, because everybody wants to hear from Jerry. And I wouldn't be surprised at some point in time in the very near future he'll hit the podium again. Because you remember, there's no more of those, and forgive me, but this is what we call them in the business, those gangbangs where everybody gets around and talks to Jerry. We can't do that anymore. So, they're bringing Dak Prescott, Zeke Elliott up to the podium now. So I wouldn't be surprised if he gets back up there several more times before this camp's over.
Well, and again, gangbangs are walk and talks. I mean, you can call them a variety of different things for the radio, but however you want to do it. And again, I mean, Jerry loves the media. I'm going to guess at some point on Sunday night, he's going to sit down one-on-one with all the TV stations like he does every year, including Ken's 5 with Joe Reinagel. You went out there just to go hang out with Jerry.
Well, absolutely. And because he always gives you something to talk about. And yes, we are scheduled to do that on Sunday night. And that's always a treat for me to be able to sit down with him and talk to him one-on-one and just kind of pick his brain about a variety of things. So, Jerry Jones is probably one of the last owners in any professional sport that loves the media the way he does. And no offense to anybody, but we deal with some teams locally that aren't
San
really
Antonio
crazy
Spurs.
about us. And
Spurs.
Okay,
yes. Yeah. You could say it. Spurs. It's no secret.
Spurs, but there are others, right? I mean, there are others in the NFL, in the NBA, Major League Baseball. The media is just kind of a gnat flying around and a pain in their behind. So it's nice to be out here with Jerry, where he still appreciates what the media does. And I mean, let's face it, and I'm going to toot the media's horn for a minute. If it's not for the media, these sports teams don't exist and don't make the money that they've made over, the last 25 years. So that's my little soapbox, Jason, but it's absolutely true. They need us more than they think they do.
Yeah, we need each other. We're the conduit between the teams and the fans, and getting the word out, getting the stories out. And people wonder why they're America's team. They still are. I mean, you look at the Hard Knocks logo this year is the United States with the star on there. And as I mentioned, the Hard Knocks logo, Mike McCarthy kind of admitted yesterday that he wasn't overly thrilled that Hard Knocks is covering Cowboys training camp. Said he damn near wrecked his truck, and then when he got it back on the road, he told Jerry what he wanted to hear when Jerry called him and told him that they were going to be on Hard Knocks. I know it's day one, but the crew seems to be a little smaller than in years past, probably because of COVID. Have you noticed the Hard Knocks types? Are they in the way, a distraction for any of the players?
They are in a way. I mean, you can see that. They're the only ones that have on-the-field access when the vaccine? He said, yeah, I got it. And so, for a guy that didn't get it as a kid, he got this. And the Cowboys are claiming that they're really in the 90 percentile of players vaccinated, but there are a few. And then Zeke went on to say, so that's a personal choice. I mean, these guys have to make that choice for themselves as to what happened. And obviously this is just the NFL trying to make sure that everybody gets vaccinated. And I don't know, honestly, if they can pull it off. I don't know if the Players Union, I haven't seen it or researched it enough to see if the Players Union is going along with that. So I think the first time they try to pull somebody's game check or make a team forfeit a game because of it, we could have a big fight. So I don't think it's anything set in stone, Jason. But it was interesting for Goodell to send out that memo today for sure.
Well, it was, and I actually kind of think the NFLPA is on board because nobody wants to lose games. Nobody wants to lose money. And in a lot of ways, it kind of feels like the NFL is doing everything they can to make every player get it without making it a mandate. You look at the protocols that were put in place for unvaccinated players. It's so uncomfortable and really who the hell would want to go through that? Get your shot. And when they put that out, they didn't see a big spike in numbers of people getting vaccinated. Now the NFL puts out this memo that they're not going to add in a 19th week. And if you have an outbreak on your team and you cause that, not only do you get a loss, which could affect your playoff seeding, it could mean you don't make the playoffs. It could mean you don't get home field advantage. Oh, and by the way, nobody on your team is going to get paid because your game check is going to go away. That would encourage a lot of people to either go get the shot or teams within to kind of peer pressure unvaccinated players to go get the shot.
Well, you got to wonder what the conversation inside the locker room is, because yesterday Jerry claimed there were only 5 guys in what he called in the pipeline that haven't been vaccinated. So those, obviously the other players know who those 5 guys are. And so it's going to be interesting to see if there is any peer pressure, not only amongst those guys, but the guys that on other teams as well that haven't been vaccinated. But, it's really one of those things that is a real fine line, because a lot of guys may have, very personal reasons for not wanting to do it. And, I don't know what the answer is or what's right or what's wrong. I mean, just coming out here for us, we had to get tested. We've got to get tested again. I personally am one of 25 guys that are allowed to interview players. And so in order to get that contact with those players, you've got to go through the testing. You've got to make sure you're vaccinated and all of that stuff. So it's been a big topic out here for sure. And it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out, especially with the shot fired by Roger Goodell today.
Yeah, well, and that's it. And I think that it's pretty interesting that, for us to go do our jobs, not only do we have to be vaccinated and prove that we're vaccinated, then we've got to get tested before we get there. We get tested while we are there just so we can do our jobs. And it's interesting because the players want to make sure that we're safe as we're coming in. It's kind of one of those things. And you're right, COVID is going to be and continue to be a major topic of conversation around the sports world in the NFL. Certainly there now as Joe Reinagel from Kens 5 joins us here on the Blitz. Back to Zeke for a moment. Looking at that photo Zeke posted the other day on his social media, seeing him on video today running around the practice field, he says he's 218, hasn't been that light since his freshman year at Ohio State. Does Zeke look different in person to you?
No, not really. But, when they've got a uniform, he's still got the big beard, right? So, I mean, all of that's the same. He had nice sunglasses on today up at the podium. And when he's in uniform, he looks like the same guy. Maybe a little quicker, though. I will say that I think coming into this camp, he's more focused than he's ever been. I really think he was embarrassed by his season last year, especially the turnovers. And, you're an athlete. You got a big ego. You don't want to be the cause of your team, losing ball games, regardless of how many people were injured last year and all of that kind of stuff. So I really think he has a lot to prove. And he's coming out here, at least early on, and he's taking this thing very, very seriously.
How did the offensive line guys look? Now, I realized today, no pads, nothing like that, but just seeing Tyron and LC and Zach Martin apparently healthy. How did those guys look?
Big. They look big, Jason. Extremely large men. Okay, they're huge. That's what they look like. It's really hard to tell. I mean, they're all healthy, right? So they're all back in. Everybody's doing okay. But those are some large human beings.
Hey, that's why we go on the second week when pads are on and there's some hitting. Where are you going to dinner tonight?
Yeah, it's a good question. We're here through the 10 o'clock hour of San Antonio time, but you picked out that it's always good, and the beer is nice.
You say that your phone seems to be cutting out. We'll see you out there Sunday night, Joe. We'll have dinner and a cold beverage out there in Oxnard on Sunday. Always fun when Joe Reinagel from Kens 5 joins us. We'll have to do it again real soon. Joe Reinagel from Kens TV. Watch him tonight at 10 for his coverage. And again, he's going to have Jerry Jones Sunday night there on Channel 5. Our AA Best Bail Bonds Dallas Cowboys training camp coverage all next week. R&R in the morning. The Blitz in the afternoon, live in Oxnard from Dallas Cowboys training camp, brought to you in part by Ewald, Kubota, and Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. Going to be a fun time all next week out in Oxnard. As we continue here on the Blitz out at Slacker Sports and Arcade Bar, we've got some great prizes that we are going to give away. You want to win something. The rain appears to have stopped. Get over here. We're here till 7 o'clock. Rob Thompson is here. We're going to grab him in a bit. I need to hear an Aggie's thoughts on the Longhorns and Sooners, thoughts on moving to the SEC. Rudy J is here. Michael Jimenez from the Sunday Sports Grill. He is here. So come hang out with us here at Slackers. Help them celebrate 8 years here at the Northstar location. As we continue, like I said, we got some stuff to give away. And LeBron, we know he's rich. Did you know how rich that dude is? First guy, active player to get to $1 billion. We'll get into that as we continue here. And, nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested and you want to get out of jail fast, best way to do that is by calling my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds. 210-225-2121 is the phone number. You can text the word bail to 474747, or you can even start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before you accept it. Whether it's you, a family member, a friend of yours, your best option is AA Best Bail Bonds for stress-free bail bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans available, offer a free shuttle service. They're discreet and confidential and open 24/7. Offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. So if you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, in the Valley, anywhere in between, license number 149, call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text the word bail to 474747, or simply go online, mybestbailbonds.com.
They're the players you know and the players you're going to know.
Okay, we'll see what's about to happen.
Get the latest NFL news, moves, and more from Dallas Cowboys training camp. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Think about it. What's pain keeping you from doing this summer? Right? It's a long list of things you enjoy, but no more thanks to QC Kinetics and their new long-term solutions for pain relief. Hey, it's James Pledger with ESPN San Antonio. The natural biologic treatments at QC Kinetics address the root cause of pain in your knees, shoulders, hips, or back, helping deliver the relief you need so badly. Listen, don't spend one more day in pain. Call QC Kinetics today and get started on the road to recovery. The biggest regret for QC Kinetics patients is that they didn't start their treatments and feel better sooner. Call now to learn more about these regenerative alternatives that take place in the office the same day. No downtime. 210-571-0318. Refuse to spend one more day in pain. QC Kinetics makes it possible. Locations in Hollywood Park and Westover Hills. 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. Call QC Kinetics today.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online, mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Welcome to Texas. ridiculous. Well, your backside will sizzle like bacon when you get in your car, unless you go to Mother's Window Tint, home of the tint and alarm special, where you can also buy a new car stereo. Since 1984, Mother's Window Tint has tinted cars and trucks to keep them cooler and stop the sun from damaging their interiors. Texans like dark privacy window tint. Come to Mother's and get some. Legal and guaranteed a lifetime. Remember to protect yourself and your family. Buy an auto alarm today from Mother's. Starter kill, remote start, GPS locator, 24-hour live monitoring. Save $100 on the tint and alarm package of your choice. Austin and San Antonio stores. MothersWindowTint.com. Remember, do it at Mother's and save.
Want to hear something amazing? Discover matches all the cash back you earn on your credit card at the end of your first year, automatically, dollar for dollar, with no limit on how much you can earn. Extra cash? Come on, how amazing is that? In fact, it's even more amazing when you realize all the places where Discover is accepted. 99% of places in the US that take credit cards. So when it comes to Discover, get used to hearing yes more often. Learn more at discover.com/yes. 2021 Nielsen Report. Limitations apply.
Guys, stop putting your love life on hold. U.S. Pharmacy has some exciting news. If you've been wanting to try Viagra or Cialis, now's the perfect time. Call today and receive 90 little blue or little yellow pills for only $119 with free shipping. Why order some low-dose sildenafil from one of those subscription services when we can give you what you want now? Call 800-990-6271 and we'll rush your order discreetly packaged to your door. Been thinking about trying Viagra or Cialis? Call U.S. Pharmacy at 800-990-6271 for as little as only $119 for 90 pills. Need your package in a hurry? Call 800-990-6271 and ask about our express shipping option, and we'll rush your order to you as soon as possible. Save money on the little blue or yellow pill you've been wanting to try. Again, 800-990-6271 now. That's 800-990-6271.
1, 2, 3.
Live and local sports talk. To get you out the door, Rob Thompson, Rudy J. R&R in the morning on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Hi, I'm Jason Minix on your home for Texas Rangers baseball. It's San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM. Kind of weird to hear your own promo during your own show. It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. I'm Jason Minix. We are live out here at Slacker Sports and Arcade Bar, the Northstar location, for their 8th birthday party. We have a lot of great prizes to give away. I thought we were going to give away some stuff here, except Jasmine took off with the little deal, so I don't know if we're going to do that or not, but we will give away stuff before 7 o'clock. I'm looking at a Fireball dartboard and a cool Corona kind of mirror thing that will look good in your bar, your man cave. We'll give those away. We've got WWE Raw tickets that we are going to give away, as well as tickets to go see John Mayer. So if you want to win something, you have until, well, probably let's say 6:30 or so to get here to ensure that you get a ticket to get your name in the hopper. We're here till 7 on the air. We are going to stay later. I see Rudy J. He is still here. In fact, we'll get Rudy. Rudy's probably a couple drinks in, so we're going to get him back on in the 6 o'clock hour, because I imagine a drinking Rudy is going to be a lot of fun to talk to on the radio. Not that I'm going to get him in trouble in his first week on the new job. Maybe.
Kind of sounds like it.
What do you mean, Pledge? You think I sound like it? Well, so here's the deal. Rob Thompson was supposed to come on with me at 6 o'clock, but apparently he did the Irish goodbye thing. I mean, he just ducked out because this getting up and doing a morning show apparently is starting to kick his butt. So, you know, Rob apparently has left the building, although he said he was going to be here for a while. Michael Jimenez, he wants to come on and talk, but I know he's been drinking since 3. So, I mean, you know, so we'll see what ends up happening. Okay, Jasmine, we're doing this live. What are we giving away right here? We're just calling out numbers. All right, if you've got a ticket in the hopper, if you were given a ticket as you walked in, we are giving away this Fireball dartboard. Ticket numbers, no names. All right. If your ticket is 654197, you win yourself a dartboard, and then we have a Corona mirror that we are giving away. Somebody wrote their name on this one. Morrow R with ticket number 654189. You win that. Got winners already coming up here. Are we giving away WWE Raw tickets as well? We've got 2 pair. I've got another ticket. So 654-204, 654-204. You're going to see WWE Raw. 204 is going to see Raw. We've got another pair of tickets for WWE Raw August 16th at the AT&T Center that we'll give away before 7 o'clock. We'll also give away the John Mayer tickets before 7 o'clock as well. So get out and see us here at Slacker Sports and Arcade Bar, the Northstar location. Pledges, I see you looking at me kind of confused looking on the Facebook feed. Did I say something wrong?
No.
Oh, okay. You just had a confused look, so I thought I pulled a Rob Thompson and said something wrong. It is John Mayer on April 20th. Christopher Lewis wants to know on Facebook Live if you're heading to Slackers after the show. The answer is yes. Anytime we're at a bar, Pledge shows up. Somehow Pledge has the ability to leave the station and teleport his way to a bar faster than anybody I know when the show is over. We are going to be here for a while. Rudy J is going to be here for
Yeah, I get to play with the morning boys tomorrow.
What?
I get to play with the morning guys tomorrow.
You got to be careful how you say that, man. That's right, because Carl Schoening is
already taking off work.
Now, in his defense,
no,
it's Friday, and I haven't worked a Friday in July yet. That will change tomorrow, but I've had every Friday off. Although there's still plenty of time for me to call in sick, right? I don't necessarily have to show up tomorrow. I do. Actually, I won't show up. I'm doing it from the kitchen table tomorrow. But I'm going to Tri-County to get a big old slack of ribs that I'm going to put on the Traeger early tomorrow. But you look at it, and so Carl goes on vacation his first week on the job. He had a long time pre-planned wedding in Mexico, and he's obviously not going to cancel that trip. So you're coming to the bar after, right?
Yeah.
And then you're going to do a morning show.
Yeah.
Or then you're going to do halftime.
Yep.
And then you're going to do the Blitz.
Uh-huh.
Then you're going to have a standard pledge a Friday night.
Sounds about right.
And then a Saturday morning hangover.
Yep.
Saturday morning hangover every
And then let's not
Saturdays
forget, I'm also doing Laying Down the Law on the Sports Grill on Sunday as well, before all of training camp next week till Thursday.
Which is quite the butt kicker. Why till Thursday? We're going to be there on Friday. You know that, right?
Well, Carl comes back Thursday.
Oh, so you got to do the morning show all next week?
Yeah. Woo. He decided to take off the busiest week of the year.
That's how you and Carl getting along, huh?
Oh, I was listening this morning. He blames this solely on his girlfriend.
I'm celebrating my 26th wedding anniversary today.
I'm single, but I wouldn't do that.
That's a rookie mistake. I mean, you can't blame the girlfriend. And it's right. It's her family, right? It's her family, somebody in her family that's getting married. So don't blame the girlfriend. Although, let me ask you, Pledge, you're a single guy.
Yep.
Somebody says no gifts. Does that mean no gifts?
Oh, I'm never falling for that.
No. Somebody says no gifts. That means no gifts.
I'm never falling for that.
As a dude.
That's I'm fine.
Well, no, see, that's different. It's not like I'm fine.
It's
I'm
a lot
fine,
like
they're never
I'm fine.
Hey, wait. No, it's not. So you look at this, and guys, as I'm in trouble, I think, but I'm not. So oftentimes we are in trouble because we don't listen, right? So when I hear no gifts and I listen and don't get a gift, how am I in trouble again? Right? Because it was no gifts. We just went to Los Angeles. But we were out there in L.A., a nice dinner last night, no gifts. I mean, it's kind of one of those things, we're at a stage in our life that you want something, you just go get it, right? It's that kind of thing. Thank you, Fred. But I get up this morning and there's a gift and a card. I mean, it's not only a gift, but it's a card because I didn't even get a card. I didn't get a card. I didn't get a gift. And I've been busy. It's not like I've gone to the store. I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
I know I'm in trouble.
Like I said, I'm never falling for the no gifts thing.
Well, see, we've done that a lot through our years, and no gifts generally means no gifts, right? Both of us have been good at that. No gifts is no gifts. It should be the idea that I actually listened and heard, and, no, you're not buying it?
I'm not buying it.
Me. Good thing I'm leaving for a week.
That's a true statement.
If you got advice on how to help me get out of that, hit me up on Twitter at Jason Minix. And it's not a rookie mistake. They're 26 years in. I know better.
No, I get
like
it.
It's like last night. I'd gotten up to go to the restroom, and the waiter came by and was like, "Hey, what do you want for dessert? Do you want the bread pudding?" And my wife told the waiter, "No, he'd get him the cheesecake." And because she knows, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she knows. Don't get me the bread pudding. I mean, it's no gifts in my mind means no gifts. I should get like an extra badge or a medal or something for actually listening and doing what I was told. I heard, and
even when you win, you lose.
Yeah, kind of how it is. Hey, you want to win something? Come see us here at Slacker Sports and Arcade Bar, the Northstar location, as they celebrate 6 years here at Slackers. Happy hour is going on. We've got more prizes to give away. Did I say 6 years? 8 years. I was just seeing if you were paying attention, man. Really, I was just making sure you were listening. What's up, Frank? How are you? The man that's run this thing for 8 years. I read copy earlier that said 9 years. It's 8 years. It might be 6. I'm just making sure you're paying attention. They are celebrating 8 years here at Slackers Sports and Arcade Bar. It is 6 o'clock now. We're here till 7. That's where the 6 was coming in at. Come hang out with us and have a drink here at Slackers Sports and Arcade Bar. You're going to fire up the grill. You want the best sausage on that grill. You need to get yourself some Kielbasa smoked sausage, authentic sausage like you could find in butcher shops back in the old days. And it's because the way they make their legendary smoked sausage, it's done in small 150-pound batches with only fresh, high-quality ingredients, never frozen meat. They don't add fillers or chemicals that you can't pronounce. Then it is smoked over real hardwood, just the way Rufus Kielbasa did back in 1949. At Kielbasa, they're on a mission to reintroduce you to authentic smoked meats. So when you buy Kielbasa brand sausage, you know you're getting the best, most authentic smoked sausage you'll ever eat. If it's not, call Michael Kielbasa. He'll give you your money back. He puts his phone number on the back of every package sold. He guarantees it's going to be the best. So before you fire up that grill, go get some Kielbasa today.
Summer is all about the sunshine. Baseball's All-Star Game. Getting wet to cool off. And patiently waiting for football season to get here. Pass the time and win some summer cash. We're giving away $1,000 each weekday. Listen for the winning keyword at 7, 10, 1, 4, and 6. And enter that keyword at sasportstar.com. Money to buy those season tickets you've been wanting to score. Official rules online at sasportstar.com. San Antonio Sports Star. ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Prescription products require an online consultation. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information.
My husband's ED was affecting our marriage. When he first started experiencing ED, it was difficult for both of us. We didn't know who to talk to about it or where to get help. HIMSS was our answer. HIMSS connected my husband with a licensed provider online. He was able to get medication to treat his ED at a fraction of the price people pay for the name brand. It was delivered to our door, and guess what? Our sex life is back. It works.
Right now, get your first online provider's visit totally free when you go to forhims.com/love. Yep, free. No copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. Just the care you need.
Thanks to HIMSS, we got our sex life and our marriage back.
To start your free online visit, go to this exclusive address, forhims.com/love. That's forhims.com/love for your free online visit. forhims.com/love.
If you spend hard-earned money on a designer watch and that watch breaks, don't you want it repaired with the same designer parts? The same goes for your car after an accident. Your safety and full satisfaction is My Collision Center's top priority. My Collision Center works for you. Our professionals use original, not aftermarket generic parts that will bring your vehicle's value down. If you have an accident and you want factory parts at no extra cost to you, choose My Collision Center.
Oh, according to research, 82% of people remember radio ads. So 82% of you listening will remember that this is an ad for ZipRecruiter. 82% of you will note that if you're hiring, ZipRecruiter finds qualified people for your job. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And 82% of you will remember that you can try ZipRecruiter for free, but you have to go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Yes, free. Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
This is a metaphor for your business's journey. Sometimes it feels like you're going 100 miles an hour, barely keeping up. But to cruise through challenges, you need someone who's right there with you. That's what Dell Technologies advisors do. They have the tech advice you need to get past whatever's in front of you and get to where you want to go.
Call an advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL and do more with modern devices and Windows 10 Pro.
At Lowe's, we know your home is an expression of you, and we see you walking down these aisles of possibility, running your finger on that marble top Allen & Roth vanity, regularly $5.99, but now $3.49, and finding that perfect rattan pendant at an everyday low price of $99.98. In our showrooms of style, you'll find whatever you're into at a price you'll really get into. Lowe's, home to any budget, home to any possibility. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See associate at Lowe's.com for details. Valid through 8/29/21. U.S. only.
Slacker Sports and Arcade Bar is celebrating 8 years, and we are going to party with them. Hi, Jason Minix here. Join me this afternoon for a live broadcast of the Blitz out at Slacker's Northstar location. It's their 8th birthday party. It's our first live broadcast out on location in over a year. We are ready to get after it, and we've got a lot of great prizes to give away, including tickets to go to WWE Raw Live. So join us this afternoon at Slacker's Northstar location and party with us and the San Antonio Sports Star.
The home of the Rangers. This is Rangers Radio on KCDC. San Antonio Sports Star. ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Jason Minix, The Blitz.
It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Out at Slacker Sports and Arcade Bars, they celebrate their 8th birthday, their 8th anniversary. Glad to be out on location. That is for sure. It's our first live broadcast in over a year. It's great to be doing a show inside of a packed bar. A lot of people out here enjoying, you know, the normalcy that we're getting back to is nice to see. It's nice to be out on location. We get to do this a whole lot more, and it's great to be out here to help Slackers celebrate 8 years. Got a lot of great prizes to give away. So come see us. Come hang out with us. Happy hour going on until 7. But you know, and look, it's been a long time since we have been on location. I ain't leaving at 7 o'clock. I didn't drive here either because, you know, it's going to be a good night. Steve Canto just walked in. It's nice seeing in person a lot of long-time listeners, guys that have been around from the get-go. So get out and see us here. You could win some stuff, and I promise you're going to end up having a great time. Even James Pledger, when he gets off work, he's going to end up over here as well. Pledger producing as always. It's been a long time since we've let Greg Shelton out into the public. Our crack engineer on crack, Greg Shelton, is here. He even has a smile on his face. That's rare. I mean, that doesn't happen very much. He's probably just excited because he got a free shirt.
Wait, what?
One of our new shirts. Yeah, he got a shirt. I mean, we gave him a logo shirt.
But he's smiling?
He really is smiling. You know, it's a rare sight. You know, he's not being grumpy Greg. He hasn't bitched about anything this entire time. I mean, nothing. You know, him as antisocial as Greg Shelton is, even Greg Shelton has been cooped up too long. He needed to get out and enjoy. Now, he'll be off to Big Bend or something this weekend because it only takes one of these to revert back to his normal patterns, but at least right now he is enjoying everything. You know, the big story of the day, and man, we've got a lot to talk about over the next hour. Obviously, with the Dallas Cowboys in training camp, practicing today, Zeke talking today. Jerry with some of his comments yesterday. We'll talk a lot about Cowboys training camp. The other NFL training camps all getting underway in the next couple of days or so. And the NFL dropping the biggest hammer so far when it comes to getting players vaccinated. Essentially, they're mandating it without mandating it. They are putting it on the players that if you don't get vaccinated and you have a COVID outbreak within your team and you have to miss a game, if the team has to miss a game, it will go down as a loss, and players aren't going to get paid for that week because they get paid by game. So not only could you affect the playoff standings, you could affect whether you make the playoffs or not with that loss because it will go down as a forfeit. Maybe it's the difference between home field advantage and not. But you talk about players' paychecks, you start messing with people's money, that's going to cause some issues inside the locker room. You know, I think outwardly you'll have a lot of guys say it's a personal decision. You got to make the decision that works best for you. And it really is. But in the ultimate team game, what player wants to be responsible for having a game canceled because of COVID, something that could be prevented? Now, the memo isn't clear, and somebody sent me a message and says, what if they're vaccinated but still get COVID? The memo doesn't say that, and I don't know. But if an unvaccinated player tests positive and it spreads around the locker room, you got to believe that Roger Goodell isn't going to show any mercy on that team. You're not going to see what you saw last year with, like, the Tennessee Titans moving games around. And, you know, I didn't mind the Wednesday night football games last year. I did, but again, that's not good for the league. That is not what the NFL wants, and they have put that out there. And I think two things kind of have led to the memo that Roger Goodell put out today. One, you have a lot of major conferences like the SEC saying the exact same thing. They're not moving games around. If you've got an outbreak within your team, that's just going to go down as a loss. And two, when they initially came out several weeks ago with all the COVID protocols for vaccinated players versus unvaccinated players, they made it so uncomfortable and so ridiculous for the unvaccinated that I'm sure the league thought, with all these restrictions on the unvaccinated, this is just going to encourage a whole bunch of guys to go get the shot, because who wants to put up with that? And that didn't happen. You know, I saw on Pro Football Talk earlier today, 14 teams right now are above the 85% vaccinated threshold. That's less than half of the teams. Now, there's a lot of teams out there, if you listen to Jerry Jones, that are close to 85%. And what Jerry Jones said yesterday is basically, and he used some weird Jerryisms trying to figure out, telling us about it, but essentially 5 guys is all he's trying to convince right now to get a shot. Everybody else, he says, and he put the number at 77%, and he said all the other guys, he said, are in the pipeline to get the vaccine. Either they've had one shot, they're waiting on the second, or they've at least committed to getting vaccinated during training camp, which all the teams are going to have available along with the testing. There's going to be vaccinations available. So listening to Jerry Jones yesterday, essentially he's got 5 guys that don't appear to be in line as of this moment to get vaccinated. My guess is by the time the regular season kicks off, the Cowboys are going to be at 100%. And if you're one of those unvaccinated types, I hope you're a superstar starter. Because if you're a bubble guy, if you're an undrafted guy, you're not going to make the team. I think the NFL has made it pretty clear that they want you vaccinated, Cole Beasley. It's going to be very interesting to see how it works out, because while they can't cut you for not getting vaccinated, they'll always find a football reason. It was the Buffalo Bills general manager who did say in a podcast and got in trouble for it, but he said it, yeah, if it comes down to a vaccinated guy versus an unvaccinated guy, and they're essentially the same, the vaccinated guy's going to win out. I mean, you know, I think that's kind of the obvious. I mean, it's the smart play. If you're a pro athlete, you want to get that pro athlete money, you're going to have to get your shot. I mean, the NFL is forcing it without officially forcing it. It's going to be interesting to see how players react to it as they arrive in training camp. Zeke Elliott talking today, and the Cowboys have the advantage of them and the Steelers, the only ones officially in training camp right now, because they play in the Hall of Fame game, so they get that extra week. Zeke said today he was vaccinated. Found it interesting because Zeke grew up in a family that doesn't believe in vaccinations of any kind. So you go back to when he was in school and all those different kinds of things. But as a guy that had COVID last year, he got vaccinated. Quick to say that he got vaccinated, even though their natural belief system in the Elliott household apparently was anti all vaccines, which he got it done. Now, he also dealt with COVID, so he understands firsthand of some of the issues that come along with it if you get COVID. He apparently, made the decision, I'm not going through that again, and I'm not going to hurt my team. And that's going to be the peer pressure in the locker room. When you think about the NFL, they're not going to try to add any games, reschedule anything. Any kind of postponement caused by an outbreak within a team is going to go down as a forfeit. And if you don't play the game, you're costing guys money. I can only imagine what that threat from the NFL will do inside the locker room when it comes to getting your shot. It's easy to say right now, do what you want to do until you start affecting some man's money. That's where I think there's going to be some interesting things. They want to get everybody vaccinated. There's too much money at stake for there not to be. You're seeing it in the college game without as much negative feedback as you are with the pro game. The union also appears to be in concert right now with the NFL on this and trying to make sure everybody gets vaccinated. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out over the next couple of weeks, especially as more and more teams report to training camp and more players either voice support or against what Roger Goodell said. I know several went to social media today, none stronger than DeAndre Hopkins, who actually deleted his strong tweet. But you know how Twitter works. Once you hit send, somebody screen grabbed it, and it's out there whether you delete it or not. But he talked about whether he, I don't want to say he threatened retirement, but he questioned his future in the NFL. Now, I see that from D-Hop and think, come on, dude. I remember when you held out with the Houston Texans. You didn't show up for morning practice, but you were back by lunch. You're not going to retire. You're not walking away from all that money. I know it's your personal decision. It's going to be interesting to see if your personal decision changes when you realize you affect everybody on your team by your decision right now. We'll talk more about this as well. Want to get your thoughts as well on the Kia Bossa Bacon phone line, 656-ESPN, 656-3776 on Twitter, at Jason Minix. You can tweet at James Pledger, at I Am Pledger. The other big story today is one that really started developing yesterday, and that was an article from Brent Zorneman from the Houston Chronicle. Now, I know I said earlier today, and if you've been listening throughout the whole show, I expected to have Brent Zorneman on right now. He texted me a little while ago, slammed with deadlines and all kinds of stuff. So we're probably going to end up getting BZ on the show tomorrow to talk about the story that he broke. And that is that Texas and Oklahoma are in serious talks about moving to the SEC. I know we talked about it a lot on the Blitz yesterday, and it was breaking news yesterday. You've had a full day to digest it, and man, do I got comments coming left and right on what fans' reactions. And it's very interesting when you look at it from the Aggie perspective, and maybe that's why Rob ducked out, because I really wanted Rob Thompson to come on and get the Aggie perspective on things here. Rob was here earlier, but he gets up early now. So, at 55, he had to go home. But I did want to get his ideas on what this means, because I think most Aggies are upset with the idea of the Texas Longhorns coming to the SEC. And I get it. If you're an Aggie type, I totally understand why you would be against having Texas join you guys in the SEC. I totally get it. At the same time, you know what's going to happen. The SEC wants Texas. The SEC wants Oklahoma. And that recruiting advantage that Texas A&M has had since 2012 when they joined the SEC is going to be gone when the Longhorns start playing in the SEC. The SEC, they need 4 no votes. I'm going to guess that it's going to be a thumbs down from Texas A&M. Instead of gig 'em and thumbs up, it's going to be gag 'em and thumbs down. But are they going to find 3 other university presidents that are going to join Texas A&M in voting Texas and Oklahoma out and not allowing them come in. And maybe Arkansas, I mean, I'm seeing all these different things. I just don't see it. Not when you think about the amount of money that the Longhorns and the Sooners are going to bring to the SEC. Not only that, they're going to bring money, but if you add SEC teams, or the SEC adds Texas and Oklahoma, you're keeping Texas and Oklahoma from going to another conference and making them a stronger conference. If Texas and OU are realizing that the future of the Big 12 is dark, if the Big 12 even survives this, and quite honestly, I mean, I know there's still a WAC. I know there's still a Conference USA. You look at like UTSA, and this isn't a knock on UTSA, but you think about what Conference USA was years ago and what it is now, where, Sam Houston State, they just moved to the WAC, and the WAC isn't what it was years ago. So whatever the Big 12 ultimately becomes, without Texas and without Oklahoma, who's in the Big 12? I mean, there is no marquee program in the Big 12. I mean, Baylor and TCU, Iowa State, Tech. Couldn't even say that with a straight face. Oklahoma State. Oh, there's a dude here in a West Virginia shirt. Like I said, who the hell is in the Big 12 if Texas and OU leave? And so not only will those schools, when they leave, the SEC wants to absorb Texas and OU to keep them from going somewhere else, because right now every other Big 12 team is talking to different conferences, figuring out where they belong. If you're West Virginia, do you belong in the Big East? If you're Iowa State, do you try to get inside into the Big 10? Because all these teams, they're going to have somewhere to go. Who's going to absorb them? Because without Texas and OU, there is no more marquee teams in the Big 12 as it stands today. And again, don't tell me Kansas because of basketball. We know it's all about football. Football drives everything. Football drives everything. So not only will Texas and OU bring a ton of money to the SEC, it keeps Texas and OU from going to another conference, which keeps the SEC stranglehold on having the best football in America and being the strongest conference. So there's some things there in play, almost like when you have, I know this guy's, think about a draft coming up. Well, we might want to get him here because I don't want him going to that team, and they could get him if we don't take him. There is some of that in play, but it really is all about the money. And the amount of money, not only with the TV contract that the SEC has, which is the best TV network of all of them out there, but look at the NIL money. I mean, you think about the NIL money that Longhorn players and Sooner players are making. You look at a player like Spencer Rattler, who signed with Lee Steinberg's company to help him on the marketing side of things. Then you look at Alabama's quarterback, who hasn't even been named a starter, already getting close to $1 million, and Nick Saban saying it's because of the brand. You think about the recruiting advantage that you have when you're Nick Saban, and you could say, yeah, man, this kid hasn't even played, and he's already got $1 million because it's Alabama. You think about the recruiting that a Longhorn has right now, recruiting against Texas A&M. A&M's advantage right now, if it's a Texas kid trying to choose, come play with us in the SEC. Texas gets into the SEC, that's going to help the recruiting, the national part of recruiting that comes as well, because we all know that Texas and OU both recruit very well on a national level now. That will only strengthen that. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens and how this plays out. I'm just very curious to see how soon it will happen, because I know what the current Big 12 contracts have with Fox and ESPN to broadcast their games. Was it 2025? I think this happens sooner rather than later. They'll figure out lawyers on how to get out of those contracts earlier, because quite frankly, they have to. Quite frankly, now that this cat is out of the bag, I don't see them waiting 3 or 4 years to figure out when they are going to join it. This is going to happen sooner rather than later. Seeing Paul Feinbaum on Greeny earlier today, he said talks are further down the road than any of us thought. They did through back channels. They had all the different conversations. through the back channels, and it's getting out now. My guess, it is so far down the road that it is going to happen, and happen sooner rather than later, which is why Brent Zorneman of the Houston Chronicle broke the story. He covers the Aggies. He lives in College Station. Don't you think it was an Aggie source that leaked it to Brent Zorneman to try to derail this before it got any further down the tracks? That's my guess. I thought we were going to have Brent Zorneman on today. He's busy. We'll get him on tomorrow. I'll ask him. I don't know that he'll reveal sources, but 2 + 2. I mean, College Station based writer, covers the Aggies. He's the one that breaks the story on the Longhorns and Sooners, and we know that A&M is against this. They're trying to derail it before it gets too far down the tracks. But if you listen to Paul Feinbaum, it is already very far down the tracks. It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM out at Slacker Sports and Arcade Bar, the Northstar location, as they celebrate their 8th anniversary. We're on the air for about another 30 minutes or so. You got time to get over here, get your name in the hopper to win some great prizes, including John Mayer tickets and tickets to WWE Raw. We'll have more coming up. Talk about the idea of Chris Paul joining the Lakers, because LeBron gets what LeBron wants as we continue here on the Blitz. We'll have that coming up after Sports Center. If you're shopping for a new vehicle, you know there's no better place to go than Ancira Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram truck. Jason Minix here. I can tell you firsthand because I am a longtime Ancira customer. Through the years, I've bought many vehicles from Ancira, including one that I'm driving now, my daughter's car and my niece's car from Ancira. Half the people at the radio station drive Ancira vehicles, and it's because of how well Ancira takes care of you before, during, and most importantly, after the sale. That great customer service is why Ancira has been a great family-run dealership in San Antonio for decades. They're going to make sure you're getting the vehicle you want with all the options and features that you're looking for. They'll give you great value on your trade-in, the best rebates and financing options that are available, and their service after the sale is second to none. And you know price made Ancira number one. Price keeps Ancira number one. So think Ancira. Ancira Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram truck, part of the Ancira I-10 Auto Complex on I-10 West between Wurzbach and Huebner.
This Sports Center update is brought to you by Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 100% satisfaction guarantee.
I'm James Pledger. In Major League Baseball, the Texas Rangers got swept by the Detroit Tigers in 4 games, falling 7-5 in the finale. Up next, they open up a series with the division-leading Houston Astros down in Houston tomorrow night, a game you can catch right here. In the NFL, Dallas Cowboys wide receiver Amari Cooper and defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence are among 6 players placed on the physically unable to perform list to start training camp. Cooper underwent ankle surgery back in January, while Lawrence has long had back problems and had a cleanup procedure earlier this offseason. Finally, in college football news, both the Texas Longhorns and Oklahoma Sooners will send a letter to the Big 12 early next week to let them know they will not renew their media contracts when they expire in 2025, and that both will petition the SEC for membership early next week. This, according to Jason Whitley of WFAA in Dallas. I'm James Pledger for San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Hey, San Antonio Sports Star listeners, this is Michael Kielbasa with Kielbasa Smoked Meats. It's hot outside, and you know what that means. It's grilling season. Our slow-crafted smoked sausage has been made the same way for over 70 years. Pick up your favorite flavor from a store near you and throw some on the grill this weekend. I guarantee it'll be the best sausage you ever had, or I'll give you your money back. Find Kielbasa sausage at a store near you.
Northeast Independent School District is now hiring and training school bus drivers. Whether you're looking for a new job, you're a retiree, or you're retired military, come help drive students to succeed and apply at Northeast ISD Transportation today. No experience is necessary, and you will get paid while earning your CDL and learning how to drive a school bus. The Northeast ISD Transportation Department is ranked as one of the top 100 school bus fleets in America, and our drivers receive exceptional pay and benefits, including health, dental, vision, and retirement. If you're looking for work, if you're retired from the military, or you simply want to make a difference in our community, apply now with the Northeast ISD Transportation Department. Join our team and discover Northeast ISD by calling 210-356-9229. That's 210-356-9229. 356-9229. Or you can text Drive Bus to 797979. That's text Drive Bus to 797979.
O'Reilly. Ready for your next road trip? Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts to get everything you need to stay safe while traveling. Visibility on the road is so important and so easy to achieve. Get your windshield streak-free and crystal clear with Blue Magic Glass Cleaner. On sale now, 2 for $5. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com. O'Reilly Auto Parts.
We're planning a trip to Spain later this year.
But our Spanish is...
It's pretty bad. So we're using Babbel.
Babbel's conversation-based method teaches you real-life words and phrases. And with Babbel's interactive, bite-sized lessons, you'll remember what you learned.
There's no easier way to learn another language.
Ahora hablamos español.
He just said, now we speak Spanish.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free. Just go to Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Diamonds Direct takes value to a whole new level with a spectacular summer store-wide sale. Get ready, it's July 21st through the 25th. 5 days of extra saving. 20% off Diamonds Direct's already unbeatable prices. A multi-million-dollar selection of rings, earrings, bands, and bracelets. Virtually everything's on sale. Plus, top jewelry designers are flying in with all new collections. The buying opportunity of the year. Extra savings store-wide. Mark your calendar. July 21st through 25th only. And only at Diamonds Direct. Official jeweler of the Dallas Cowboys. At the shops at La Cantera.
Happy Hour is back at Twin Peaks. Monday through Friday from 2 to 7 p.m. Score sweet deals like $1 off all wine, liquor, cheap shots, and freezing cold 29-degree draft brews. With select apps available for $2, $4, and $6. Twin Peaks Happy Hour is the move.
Injuries happen, so if you twist, pull, pop, or snap something, you need Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Dr. Espinosa treats all non-surgical orthopedic injuries and has same-day and next-day availability. Telemedicine services are also available. There is no reason to be in pain. If you are hurting, visit Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Learn more at TSAOG.com. That's TSAOG.com, or schedule your appointment by calling 210-804-5490.
We've got balls, baseball, football, basketball. For all things sports, you're listening to San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. I'm Jason Minix. We're live out here at Slacker Sports and Arcade Bar. It is their 8th birthday party.
Let's go.
I saw Frank earlier in here. Everybody give Frank a round of applause for putting together one hell of a bar. Frank and his team. Fantastic. By the way, speaking of bars, the upstairs bar is open. I know it's crowded downstairs. The upstairs bar is also open. We got some great prizes to give away. So if you're close by, come by. Your chance to win John Mayer tickets and WWE Raw tickets. Rudy J.
Yes, sir.
From R&R in the morning, hanging out with us. It's nice of you with that nice bottle of Aquafina in front of you on the air. Make sure there's no cameras. I'm 30 minutes away from a nice ice cold Miller Lite, but that Aquafina looks fantastic, my friend.
Don't it? Hey, take care of your bartenders, people.
Absolutely. Always take care of your...
If they ain't tipping, they ain't sipping.
That's
my motto.
Absolutely. And again, the upstairs bar open.
I didn't even know there was one up there.
Dude, you haven't been upstairs yet?
No.
Upstairs is...
We want to pop... We popping bottles tonight? No, I got to wake up tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, you do?
I think Rob might be listening, so I got to get up tomorrow.
Yeah, man, Rob would be fine, man. If you showed up late, I mean, you made it 4 days in a row without being late to work.
I got friends that have bets when I'm gonna because if we have an early golf tee time and I put one on the night before, they know I'm not showing up. So they think I would do that with my real job, which I would never do that.
Well, it's interesting because, I mean, you talk about that, and I might have a reputation of buying shots.
Is that your rep?
I don't know, Pledge. Because
I'm gonna find out tonight.
Because Michael Jimenez earlier was like, "Dude, you're staying after 7, right?" He was like, good, man, because I need you to get me poker drunk because he wants to Uber over to the poker place later to try to go win some money. And I was like,
wow,
dude, poker drunk.
What is poker drunk?
I don't know. I mean, because I'm looking at him now thinking,
I'm not going to gamble if I'm hammered. I don't think that's a good mix.
Well, I think Vegas disagrees with that idea.
But see, Vegas wants you to get drunk.
Absolutely.
Vegas wants you to be up 10 grand and then bet 5 of it.
Yeah, or 10 of it.
I've heard they pump a certain type of air through the vents that keeps you awake.
I'm sure they do.
I've heard that.
Do you sleep in Vegas?
I don't sleep in San Antonio, so no, I don't sleep in
Vegas. I don't sleep in
You
Vegas.
told me to get some melanin.
Melatonin.
I got plenty of melanin.
Yeah.
I got plenty of melanin.
Yeah.
You told me to get some melatonin.
Dude, I remember for a couple of years ago, we were in Vegas, literally closed the place down.
How do you close Vegas down?
I didn't know it was possible, but we were down on Fremont. It was my wife's birthday. We went into, I think it was the Nugget or whichever one of those are down there. And about, I don't know, 5:30 in the morning, we rolled out and the place is gone. It's just us and the security guards. Not even like real cops, like Paul Blart, man, just security guards. But I thought it was like a bomb threat or something. Like I'd never seen nobody in Vegas. I'll show you photos during the break, man. It's kind of freaky when I didn't know that could happen in Vegas, where you walk out and you see nobody.
Then you
like
really,
the place was cleaned up and everything. It was like
you really got it in.
That was a good night, man. But we still made our 8 a.m. breakfast. I mean, you know, you got to do that. All right, let's talk a little bit. I know, obviously, today one of the big stories on R&R in the morning, 7 to 10 weekdays, new show here on San Antonio Sports Star, was Texas and Texas A&M. I know you guys also talk a lot of basketball, and I've been trying to get to this story all day and haven't done it yet. The idea of Chris Paul going to the Los Angeles Lakers. Okay. So Mark Spears is reporting that LeBron, who, by the way, becomes the first active NBA player to reach $1 billion.
Shout out to LeBron for that.
$1 billion. Like Michael Jordan got a couple billion now, but it wasn't while he was playing.
It wasn't while he was playing.
I mean, $1 billion. And you guys don't want to trash his new cartoon? It wasn't made for you. It's a cartoon. It's made for kids. It ain't for you.
It's not for us old men.
But it puts him over $1 billion.
Absolutely.
He gets the last laugh. And he now wants a veteran point guard. So the two guys that were mentioned are Chris Paul and Russ, if they're able to get Westbrook out of Washington. Okay. And I hear that, and I think, okay, a lot of trades would have to happen, and everybody that the Lakers would trade to get Russ are the same guys that we've heard, you know, the Kuzmas, the blah, all that kind of stuff. And, you know, and I'm thinking about DeMar. Does this mean DeMar isn't happening, so now he's looking at plan B? That could be a possibility, but Chris Paul, he's got $44 million guaranteed this year from the Phoenix Suns, and he's got the player option. Now, part of me thinks, well, you don't opt out of $44 million, right? I mean,
unless you can get 3 years, 100.
Well, all right, so you add yourself about, 55, 60 million more on 3. But if you're a general manager right now, would you give a 36-year-old Chris Paul $100 million guaranteed over 3 years? I mean, would you give him?
Yes.
You would?
Yes.
I mean, at 36?
Yes. $30 million is a drop in the bucket these days.
It is. But a 36-year-old guy that would ultimately be a role player.
I wouldn't add him to the Timberwolves. I would add him if I'm a contender. I give you that $100 million. I'll make that $100 million back tenfold.
Yeah, but you still got a salary cap.
No, yeah.
I mean, you still got a cap to work with, and so you got Anthony Davis's money. You've got
LeBron's
You've got LeBron's money. You know, the kind of scary way to do it is if you get Phoenix to play ball and do a sign and trade. And sure, I'll opt out of $44 million if I'm getting $100 million. I mean, obviously, because it's all guaranteed money. I just don't know if the market right now says for a 36-year-old Chris Paul, who flamed out in the finals, who's never made it this far. When he finally does, he was great in games 1 and 2. But
Chris,
the other, I don't know.
Chris may take a
pay cut,
a team-friendly deal to chase the ring.
I mean, all right. So what you're saying is this year, if he stays with the Suns, I'm going 3 years and $100 million, 30, 35 a year, right? To stay with Phoenix. And would Phoenix do that? If I'm going to the Lakers and chasing a ring, give me my per diem and let me go play because I just want a ring that bad.
Well, the thing about it with Phoenix, the reason Phoenix might do it is because I don't think they have to pay Cam yet. I don't think they have to pay Bridges yet. I don't think they have to pay Ayton yet. So they are in the position to give him the money he seeks more so than the Lakers are. The Lakers are in a tough spot because they got a lot of guys on the contract. Phoenix, they got guys on rookie deals.
Yeah.
So they can get him his $100 million. And not only that, like, if you're Chris Paul, like, do you really want to go to the Lakers? Like, LeBron can want you. Y'all are best buddies, but you beat them.
Yeah, but I mean, you got LeBron sitting courtside with some fancy liquor on the floor. Like
who can bring their own bottle? Who can BYOB?
LeBron
to an NBA.
I mean, what we don't know, do they sell
one of those?
Do they sell that in a club? Was somebody got some Miller Lights?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, Aquafina.
90%. When you look at it, maybe they sell that in the fancy rich people club there at the games. But it did look like LeBron bought his own.
LeBron was BYOB at an NBA game. That's when you know, like, that might have made him the GOAT. Like, we've been going back and forth about who's the GOAT. If you can BYOB to an NBA game, that might put you over the hump.
Because I'll listen, but you're not going to sway me on Michael Jordan being the GOAT.
No, and me neither.
Michael can bring what he wants to an NBA game. Well, he owns the team. That makes him the GOAT. But I'm going back to Chris Paul. If you're Phoenix,
do you want to leave Phoenix if you're Chris, though?
I want a ring. And he wanted to play
2 games away.
Sure.
In the season where a lot of people were hurt.
Yeah, well, that's it. This is his best opportunity. I don't know, and even Giannis said it. I mean, the fact that he did it in Milwaukee and didn't go to a super team, even if he doesn't get another one, this one is so special because of the way they did it. Phoenix isn't going to be back in the finals. I mean, you look at the Lakers are going to get healthy and they're going to go find a veteran point guard. We'll see what happens with the Clippers. There's that.
Kawhi's going to be out for the whole year.
Yeah,
I don't think they're going to matter.
But I mean, I think they played pretty damn good without Kawhi. And again, see what they end up doing in the offseason. That Golden State Warrior team that has kind of been under the radar because of injuries for 2 years. When healthy, they're going to be back into the mix. Utah, is Denver going to take the next step? We'll see what happens with Portland. We could talk about a lot of teams not named San Antonio, about real title contenders. Hell, man, I liked what I saw from Memphis. And that good young talented team, and then you got the Mavericks. I mean, so if you're Phoenix, do you kind of hope he opts out?
You gotta hope he comes back. Because they're not here without him.
They're not. But again, even with him next year, now with 3 years and $100 million, you're not winning a title with Chris Paul. Is that worthy of spending $100 million? Or do you go and take that money and go get some younger players to develop so when the older Laker teams start to fall off, you're there to swipe in? And I kind of think that's what the Spurs plan is right now. All these teams, they're going to have their run right now, and that's a 3 or 4 year window. They're building to be ready to go and be rebuilt for that next cycle.
Interesting take.
Because I wouldn't give Chris Paul $100 million at 36, especially if he's going to end up being a role player, and he will be a role player at the end of it. It is very similar to what we saw at the end of Tony Parker in San Antonio. And while Tony Parker had to go play somewhere else because he was going to be a role player.
He doesn't look like Tony looked. When Tony went to Charlotte, Tony did not look like this Chris Paul looks.
True, Tony was done.
Was done.
And he's not there yet.
And that's my guy.
And he's not there yet, but he's going to be at the end of that $100 million.
Deal. Okay.
At the end of that deal.
What they're going to have to do, and they're going to have to. Monty's going to have to pull a pop and save Chris from himself. And what I mean by that is, if you give him the money, you're going to have to load manage him, because toward the end of this series, games 4, 5, and 6, you saw the monkey jumped on his back.
Mm-hmm.
The monkey jumped on his back, but Chris wants to play every day.
Mm-hmm.
Monty's gonna have to let him know, look, you're not playing every day. Because I need you in games 4, 5, 6 in the finals. The reason he had those uncharacteristically turnovers He was tired.
He's tired.
Fatigue brings that about.
And could the fatigue, as we talked about with Cameron Cox, who does TV in Phoenix the other day on the Blitz.
Okay.
Fatigue being a byproduct of him having
And
COVID.
Drew Holiday.
And, I think Drew Holiday's defense and Chris Middleton's offense. But I do think there was some truth to the idea of maybe COVID causing some wind issues with Chris Paul. Sounds like an excuse, shoulder injury that he was dealing with. We know he wasn't 100%, but he played great in games 1 and 2.
Great point.
He didn't play great the rest of the way, and he becomes the first player in NBA history to be on a team up 2-0 in a series and lose 4 times. I mean, that's something that you don't want on your Hall of Fame resume. I mean, you almost need to just join the Lakers at how much does it cost me to come run with you boys? Because I need a ring. I mean, think about it.
Does he come off as a ring chaser to you, though?
Do you care at this point? I mean, I say that. I mean, I look at.
I don't.
It
don't bother
me. And I'll
me.
say that if you're 36 and you sign with the team to go get a ring, I don't look at that as a ring chaser. It's a little bit different. At the end of your career, go get one. Just like for Marcus Aldridge, go get one. Go play a role on a team. Not like Kevin Durant joining a super team, or when LeBron and Bosh and D Wade joined together in Miami to go get one. That was big time ring chasing.
Yeah.
But at 36, I give you a little pass, man. You took a Phoenix team that didn't make the playoffs the year before to the NBA Finals. Go get yours. No different than DeMarcus Ware with the Cowboys when they sent him to Denver. Go get yours. At this point, you played long enough. Go get yours. It's not like you're 28 going and chasing a ring.
Great take. It is different.
To me, it feels different. So if he does that, and go get yours. Think about all those old guys that signed with the Golden State Warriors, at the end of their career. We saw some dudes doing that with Miami. At that point, man, go get your bling. You'll know. You won a championship, right? And you'll always be able to say that. You've got that. It'll look good in the safety deposit box. But at the same time, man, go get it.
Amen, brother.
Go get that on the resume. You want to win something, come by and see us here at Slackers Sports and Arcade Bar. We'll give away those WWE tickets. We'll give away the John Mayer tickets when we come back, as Slackers is celebrating 8 years here in San Antonio. We're at the Northstar location, as I'm about 15 minutes away from my first beverage, and Rudy J can finish off that Aquafina and get an adult beverage before long. Hey, as we get ready to leave for training camp next week, football season is right around the corner. That means fantasy football is right around the corner. Underdog Fantasy is the best new place to play fantasy sports online. UnderdogFantasy.com, or download the Underdog Fantasy app. They've got daily and season-long fantasy sports and NFL best ball format. Easy to play, no waivers, no trades, just draft, set it, forget it. You can draft your team in a 12-team league over 18 rounds. Get the highest possible score in your league each week. No trades, no lineup setting, no in-season management. It is easy and a great way to practice for your home draft that's going to be coming up in the next month or so. They already have contests for the 2021 NFL season already live at UnderdogFantasy.com, including their Best Ball Mania 2 tournament. Play online, download the mobile app, and if you don't like it, they guarantee your money back up to $100. So sign up today using promo code RADIO and make your first deposit to receive a free $25 in bonus cash. Go to UnderdogFantasy.com or find them in the App Store and register with promo code RADIO to get $25 cash for free with your first deposit. Download the app today. Start playing today. Don't forget to enter promo code RADIO at sign-up. Terms and conditions apply. Go download the app or go to UnderdogFantasy.com.
Score $1,000 in summer cash. Enter the winning keyword, RASPA, R-A-S-P-A, RASPA, at SASportsStar.com. Good luck from San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Looking for a protein-packed snack to power you through the day? Of course you are. Only Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds have the bold flavors that stand out in the Me Too snack aisle. Sea salt and cracked black pepper, pineapple ancho chili, pasilla chili cheese, and more. Take your snacking to higher flavor levels with Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, and keto fans will love this low-carb crunch. Visit your local H-E-B and SouthernRecipeSmallBatch.com to see the power of the rinds.
Southern Recipe Pork Rinds.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Guys, stop putting your love life on hold. U.S. Pharmacy has some exciting news. If you've been wanting to try Viagra or Cialis, now's the perfect time. Call today and receive 90 little blue or little yellow pills for only $119 with free shipping. Why order some low-dose sildenafil from one of those subscription services when we can give you what you want now? Call 800-990-6271 and we'll rush your order discreetly packaged to your door. Been thinking about trying Viagra or Cialis? Call U.S. Pharmacy at 800-990-6271 for as little as only $119 for 90 pills. Need your package in a hurry? Call 800-990-6271 and ask about our express shipping option, and we'll rush your order to you as soon as possible. Save money on the little blue or yellow pill you've been wanting to try. Again, 800-990-6271 now. That's 800-990-6271.
Welcome to Texas, where your backside will sizzle like bacon when you get in your car, unless you go to Mother's Window Tint, home of the Tint and Alarm Special, where you can also buy a new car stereo. Since 1984, Mother's Window Tint has tinted cars and trucks to keep them cooler and stop the sun from damaging their interiors. Texans like dark, privacy window tint. Come to Mother's and get some. Legal and guaranteed a lifetime. Remember to protect yourself and your family. Buy an auto alarm today from Mother's. Starter kill, remote start, GPS locator, 24-hour live monitoring. Save $100 on the tint and alarm package of your choice. Austin and San Antonio stores. MothersWindowTint.com. Remember, do it at Mother's and save.
This is the place where time stands still. With each down, there's a battle of inches.
How about 83 yards from Prescott to Elliott?
This is San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Hey, this is Sarah Spain, and you're on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Back here on the Blitz, San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250, 94.5 FM. We're out here at Slacker Sports and Arcade Bar. It is their 8th birthday party. It is our first live broadcast in over a year. Appreciate everybody that has come out today, tuning in. We got a lot of stuff to give away. You know, here's the thing. We haven't done a live broadcast on location in over a year because of all the COVID crap, right? Things are getting normal again. It is their birthday party, but it's almost like we have just cleaned out the prize closet here, because I thought we were just going to give away some WWE tickets and some John Mayer tickets, but Frank has pulled out some mirrors and a guitar and a golf bag. So we're just going to give away the WWE stuff because I'm taking that golf. No, I'm kidding. All right, we're giving stuff away. Jasmine, you want to draw tickets? All right. Apparently I have to pick them because she doesn't like people mad at her. All right, let's see. They're all numbers. So if you're here, 1734928, you are going to see John Mayer on 420 of 2022. Do we have a winner? All right. There's your John Mayer tickets. Let's give away the WWE tickets. 1734957. A lot of frustrated people. All right, what else? What all do we have here from Frank? We've got a Mick Ultra mirror. We got to run through these. We're running out of time. There's too many prizes. 654-205. 654-205. Dude, Frank's bringing out more stuff. All right. The Corona mirror. 654-210. 654-210. If these don't get claimed, I'm not keeping track of what I'm giving away, so we'll figure it out later. All right, let me see that guitar. Let me see that guitar. Where's Frank? Where's that guitar? All right, let's give away a cool guitar. Here, Frank, grab some headphones over there, man. Frank, grab some headphones. Put you on the radio, man. I know you weren't planning on being on the radio, but you've had a great bar in this town for 8 years. You just come up and start handing out stuff. I haven't seen any of this stuff. Everybody say hi to Frank. He's one of the owners here.
What's up, guys?
And everybody's going to buy Frank a birthday shot later. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, you're good. Say hi. Hold on. Greg Shelton will push the right buttons, maybe. Maybe. Push that button. There you go. Frank, don't touch buttons. Just stand there and talk. Say hi.
Hi, guys.
All right. Everybody say hi to Frank. It's his bar's birthday, so everybody's going to buy you a shot later. Normally, it's the other way around.
There's plenty of people you can buy shots for today. There's a lot that went into the success of our brand, mostly because of all of you here, but definitely, Mikey and the rest of the staff. I mean, our whole team, man, I love every one of them, and we couldn't, be where we are today without you guys. So.
Well, and you guys have an incredible spot here. Thank you for having us out, our first live broadcast in over a year. Now, you keep bringing out stuff, and we've got about a minute and a half. The guitar. Tell me about the guitar.
Yeah, this was donated by our friends at Southern Comfort. So it's customized, nicely wrapped. So let's give this thing away.
Yeah, 654-198. 654-198. You get the guitar. Tell me about the golf bag over there. The golf bag. We got a golf bag going to 654-187. Hope somebody's keeping track of all this. You got more stuff over here. All right. All right. Let's see what else are we. You won the guitar, huh? Did we double check your ticket? 1734986. You win the cornhole game from. There's all kinds. Kettle One is on there. All kinds of stuff. So 1734986. You win the cornhole game. What else are we giving away?
Let's see. Templeton golf bag. Anybody take that?
Yeah, we already got the golf bag that we've done. I think we've given away everything. That's good. We'll find out after the show because I'm about 30 seconds away from my first beer. Frank, thank you for having us out. Congratulations on 8 years here at Slackers, this location, but all your great locations. It's time to party. Thanks for having us out.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, ESPN. We love you guys.
Don't forget R&R in the morning on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
It's football, and not the Europe kind. You know, the one where they use their feet in conjunction with the ball.
Prescott will give it a Zeke, starts up the middle, bounces left.
But they also use their feet, but they use their hands as well.
30, 20, and 10, and touchdown.
What am I talking about? Oh, yeah, the American kind.